Okay, I think we're live now, potentially.
Let me check.
I have no idea how to check when you are on the YouTube channel.
We use my other.
Yes,
It is,
looks
we're
like
live.
we are. I think we're live now,
We are
potentially.
online.
I have no idea how to check when you are on the YouTube
Alright,
channel.
then I'll nab that link and throw it up there.
Yes,
It is,
looks
we're
like
live.
we are. I did put a chat box onto the screen, but I have no idea how to make it work.
Dug in little guest message.
Oh,
We
okay,
can
well
just
that worked.
put we just put like an orangutan on the screen.
One big monkey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my next recommended YouTube video is another video from orangutan enthusiast, which is a giant orangutan sitting down.
Wow.
that sounds good.
He sit.
Oh yeah, let's go. I have terminated my YouTube recommendations for the next week. Yeah, I love algorithms.
There we are. Is that opening another window of Discord? The Discord does not like that.
Fun.
It's time to add everyone. Action. Okay.
What did we even talk about last time? I've forgotten.
We talked about some of our endeavors with fighting games.
That's true.
Remember?
Nice. I have just started playing Guilty Gear Strive recently.
Hell yeah.
How's it going?
It's fun. I played it at a friend's house, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to get this on PC. So I sat down. I'm like, ooh wee, ooh ouchie. I have sure not played fighting games for half a decade. Make that like 7 years.
Yeah, for me, I have never played fighting game, so I've noticed it do take a long time to get basic things done, and to not panic when
Yeah.
somebody starts casually walking towards me.
It's yeah. It takes time to like get good, get competent at a game.
Mm-hmm.
When I started playing like Cruelty Squad this year, I like died on the first level like 20 times. But as soon as you figure out like the game systems, it's like okay, a little bit of a click. We can just slam through them in the most scrumbled fucking way possible. I'm deeply in love with this fucked up looking game. It really is just like I just triggers the little goblin part now.
It has just that scrunchy look.
Yeah,
Sound.
it's like the best kind of like anti-capitalist art, where it's just like actually I'm not quite sure what the developer was trying to say here. It's from Finland, which explains a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Nobu in chat. How is it going?
The strongest GARcast member.
The OG,
Yeah,
the
real
rock we
OGs.
built our empire on.
Shout out to Pokemon Sun and Moon podcast.
Ah, yeah. And debuted it is Incineroar.
I picked up, well, I didn't
Yeah.
pick up, I downloaded Ultra Sun the other day to play, because I never finished Sun and Moon. When we did the podcast, I played like 3 hours of it, and And
Incredible.
yeah, swiftly did not touch it again for like 6 years. And then I like want to play because I haven't really played. I played a bit of Sword and Shield, and I was like kind of uninterested. And I thought, well, I should give Sun and Moon a go. And I remembered Ultra Sun. I thought, well, why not? Why not give this a shot? So I'm poking at it whenever I'm interested, but I've like found other games I want to play more. So when I actually get to it, is another question. Hey, Amy.
Hey, Amy.
Wow.
I want to do like a ghost only run of one of the games. I guess like Sun and Moon's probably a good one for that. There's some fun ghosts on that one.
I think you can pick up ghosts pretty early. I did I think I just finished a bug only run of Sword and Shield, so now I think I just have the most recent generation to do my bug only run of now.
Nice. Also,
Have you
we
played
have
the new
Boris
one?
in the house. Ooh.
Oh,
Yes, I actually have completed the Pokédex.
oh, nice. What's the verdict on the new one?
I think it's a real. I don't know. I don't think I'd like every Pokemon game to be like it, but it's a good departure. It's fun to sort of zoom around. It's very free flowing. It's a little bit more rigid than Arceus, which is nice for people that are fans of like more rigid RPGs. It definitely needs a little bit of polish. I think there's a lot lackluster in terms of the trainers aren't a pushover, but because like it's impossible to like easily sort of like Nuzlocke and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, it's very easy to sort of accidentally end up somewhere where you're just completely over leveled or like do something in the wrong order.
Uh-huh.
So like I had a couple points where I was like just at the right level for gym leaders and had a really good experience, and then a couple times where I was just like completely over the top. I was like, ah, well, yeah. It was a shame like coming off the Elite Four in Scarlet, because like one of the good things about BDSP is like the Elite Four was sort of buffed up a bit. Everything was like EV trained, so it was a little bit harder. But yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I heard they made Cynthia even stronger in
Yeah,
that one.
Cynthia was fucking insane. Yeah, I lost. I did my first playthrough of the Brilliant Pearl or whatever was supposed to be a Nuzlocke, and I think I like lost it at the champion to Cynthia, and I was like, oh. I ended up finishing the game otherwise, but it was like, damn, I got owned.
Wrecked by the master.
Yeah, I mean she's still on top, you know. Doesn't matter how many years.
Damn. Right, Boris, are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
He's here.
He has arrived.
I've popped
Good morning.
into voice chat and I've got like a pop-up that says XML parsing error. I've never seen that. And I can't close the window for some
no.
reason.
Oh no.
This is a new one.
So
That's
some
right.
new
I think we
fresh
can
hell.
go back to
Oh.
yeah, not the worst borrows we've had on mic. So
Yeah, Cynthia is absolutely the coolest lady. That is true. I think. Do we already want to start? Do we have?
I mean, yeah.
technically we have. Technically,
I was going off the basis that we had started, so.
He was talking about Pokemon, was that not it?
Yeah, it also belongs in there. I meant with 2022 bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I've at least on my cue cards I have like 4 genres sort of written down on BDS, being film, anime stuff, music, and games. Anything you want to start with?
We normally do movies first. Let's talk about movies.
we'll get it out the way. Any of y'all see Morbius?
I think we touched on Morbius last time. I think only Boris has.
Yeah. We talked about it last
Oh,
episode.
Oh yeah.
I like resisted watching it for so long, and then watched it a couple weeks ago. Hell yeah! Oh yeah. That's my review of Morbius.
Would you have sex with Matt Smith?
Yes, I would. He did the have sex stuff. He did it like 2 or 3 times. It was so good.
Oh, God.
2 or 3 times? I thought that was
Oh,
just the one scene.
He only plays. It only plays the song one time, but he just does like he's just a quirked out white boy. Go to he just does like a little dance a couple times. He just busts it down, sexual style.
A little bit.
Yeah, me too, Oscar. I said that last week that I did consider watching the Bitcrush Discord like upload of it, but the joke wasn't worth it.
No, it's watch it with some friends. That's what I did. We all audibly cheered when the have sex scene started.
We all audibly cheered when Child Morbius was racist against the Greeks.
Yeah, he really just hit that one out of the park for some reason.
What other movies were there, Eleanor?
Yeah, I have, for example, Nope was this year.
Oh, hell yeah.
I liked very much. That was a very fun time at the cinema. I didn't knew anything about it except the first teaser. I even refused to watch the first trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it a lot. Essentially, kind of a new take on the like alien abduction genre. Oh, spoilers, by the way. That you have the man challenges a big floaty thing in the sky that looks like a cowboy hat. Things do not go well. And that all of that sort of mixed into like a family drama about a father that has passed away, plus brother and sister who both deal differently with grief and want to get rich or die trying, filming said alien. And that alien has like a very fun look as well. Sort of unfolds like the half Neon Genesis Evangelion thingy, except floaty and thin.
Nope was like cool. Like I wonder how long I'm gonna think of it as like legitimately great as I do think it is. Mostly because I'm really curious what Jordan Peele makes next and does, because he's been making interesting stuff, even if not all of it has hit for me. But like more than anything, Nope is just a fun like metatextual playground movie. Like it's kind of hits on the spectacle stuff while having fun with like the ideas in a way that isn't like just so like drainingly cynical as a lot of movies tend to do when they're like, especially because like the movie's all about spectacle and all about like how you engage with any kind of being perceived media, and he does it in fun ways. There's fun puns with it, fun like sequences. It really feels like they kind of sat down and were like, okay, right, here is our idea. What are all the fun ideas we can do with it? Put them all into like a bag, and all of them ended up on the screen, even if some are like goofy. Like there's the like TMZ guy on the bike with the reflective helmet, and it's like that's like a really groan-worthy bit, but you have to like kind of like admire that it was like, yeah, no, we're putting all of our like fun ideas for this concept in, even if not all of them hit. It's like,
yeah, I remember that. I had also fun with the just Nope, when something like really outrageous like happens. When, I think it just rocks into the blood rain that's just coming.
Yeah.
Nope. Yep, that fits. Also, that essentially it is the answer to the question. I think, what is a bad miracle? Do you know what you call a bad miracle? Just nope. That is it. That is the bad miracle. And I think we have Nobu asking what everybody sees in it. I think I just liked it that it was absolutely well crafted. It did something kind of new, just in the sort of looks and different characters. Because, for example, who I also liked was the cowboy character and his traumatizing monkey experience. That he sort of turned his life into a spectacle in order to deal with it. for example, that he doesn't tell how he sees it, but rather he tells like the SNL skit about it, and
Yeah.
turns like his whole life into like a museum. Yeah, that was very strong, and I liked it. And that he sort of
Yeah.
tries to reclaim it by sort of taming this big beast, but yeah, that just backfires.
Yeah. They couldn't fully separate themselves from modern horror, all being all about trauma, but it was at least done in a fun way and felt like kind of interesting at least. I do like having like a tiny like museum in your office that people come and visit because you were attacked by a monkey when you were like 5. It's very, very surreal little concept.
Yeah, also the sort of balloon popping imagery is like one time something being bad and one time the like final blow to like the big alien, like a nice mirroring.
Mm-hmm. Alien's also really cool. I did think for a moment when I was watching it, when you don't get a full look of what the alien is, I did think it was going to be a giant cowboy hat. I was like, there's the bit where it like sweeps down on Daniel Kaluuya, and I thought, is it gonna like slightly pan out and it's gonna be a big cowboy hat? And I thought that would have been a very goofy, but I would have loved it.
Yeah. Alien spacecraft lands and Orville Peck steps.
Yes.
Well, who I also liked was cameraman with a super deep voice for some reason. Who is constantly like watching animal documentary snuff type things, where just animals get eaten or die. So yeah, it makes sense that he would love to have like his personal amazing shot of just getting vored by a giant animal and filming it.
Sorry, what's he doing? What's he getting? What?
He's getting vored.
We can't escape war. We can't escape war.
No.
You can just say he's getting eaten. It doesn't have to be sexual.
I think it kind of is something for him, like on the point of like super exciting that he wants to do it, like he's throwing himself like into the maws of the beast. Yeah, that was a fun movie. I liked it. Anybody else have some favorites?
I personally don't think the monkey did anything wrong.
The monkey was just being a monkey.
Yeah, I don't think monkeys can commit any wrong deeds.
No, have you seen that video of the orangutan eating popcorn? Like, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
banger. That's defining cinema.
Yeah.
Yes.
What other movies came out?
I mean, kind of divisive, or I think either well beloved or sort of meh, being everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
The
I
Reddit
was-
movies.
The best.
Yeah,
As I got further away from that, I got much less positive on it.
I haven't got such like vitriol that some of its dissenters have, and while I do definitely get it, mostly because like I also accept that it's from a very cultural perspective, and I don't really feel like I have any claim to make some of the criticisms other people are. But yeah, it didn't work for me as well as it had for other people. I do think there are some cool bits, and the main lead's very good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Yeah,
she's
it was good.
absolutely killing it. So, I think I like the tidbit that apparently the husband role was, I think, initially drafted for Jackie Chan. You can kind
right.
of feel it. But yeah, I think he would have overshadowed the movie by having like,
Yeah.
another big name in it.
Also, I don't know if Jackie Chan would have been great in that role. Like, he's obviously prime Jackie
Well-
Chan probably would have been alright, but I don't know if like old Jackie Chan would have been that great. We have seen Jackie Chan in like newer stuff, and he's not like the best.
Give him some ladders and he'll figure it out.
Yeah, like
Yeah, his name is Ki Hui Kwang.
yeah, he was in he was the kid in Temple of Doom.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I think he
The
also had a pause for a long time from cinema, so it's also nice to have him.
he's
back.
not. I'm pretty sure he was in Temple of Doom, and then a couple movies like around that time, and that's been it until this.
What a career.
So
Great to see him back. And
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh, of course. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, but yeah, it wasn't kind of the masterpiece I expected. I think there was a little bit of drag, like last third. I thought like, now it's probably wrapping up, and it wasn't. But overall, I enjoyed it. I had a
Yeah.
lot of fun stuff. Also, there's people fighting to jump on a dildo. That is also important.
It was a pretty good movie in all the parts when it was trying not to be funny.
yeah, by the time they were doing the hot dog finger stuff, I was checked out. I think. There is definitely a movie in there that I would like a lot. I just don't think what we got ended up being it. So
Yeah, I had a good fun with it, but wasn't my favorite of the year. Have you seen Triangle of Sadness?
I know
Me?
Boris did.
I've seen it
Okay.
literally last night.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was also a fun one for me. That has I love dinner scenes going wrong, and that middle part is just rich people on a boat where everything goes wrong, and it's perfect. I loved that bit absolutely. The rest is a lot of capitalism, eat the rich, in a put down on a boat. Also, the fashion industry gets some blows. So yeah, that was a fun time. I think it took a little bit too long at the end, but it makes its point and it was good. So.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
I've seen reviews all across the board for that one. I still don't actually know what it's about.
I kind of hated it, but yeah.
Yeah, how was it for you?
It was too fucking long, both as a whole and like every individual scene. Like it always starts with some kind of promising, maybe funny scenario, and then it just goes like 3 or 4 times too long.
Uh-huh.
But I guess the bit where all the rich people are vomiting and shitting is pretty funny.
Yeah. They shouldn't have farten. And I'm having a grand
hell
old
yeah.
time.
Speaking of dinner parties going wrong, did anyone else watch the menu this year?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's another one that I saw like a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, I watched it like literally the night like before we were supposed to record it last week. Much less shitting and farting apparently, but I thought it was pretty good. Ray Fiennes is a good actor when he's not being transphobic.
Oh.
God damn.
Oh man.
Do you also think it's pretty funny that this was directed by the guy who did Ali G in the House?
Wait, is it? That's incredible. That's made me interested in that movie. Is there like any shades of Ali G in the House in that?
I can't say that I recognized any.
It was nice, like sort of quite glib comedy, like a very like not like explicitly jokes, sort of like the circumstance or whatever was sort of built up the tension and de-escalated it in quite funny ways. Yeah, I couldn't there was no Ali G though, really.
That would have really spiced things up, though.
I think that would have really solved any issues I had with the film. Sacha Baron Cohen himself.
Oh yeah, Nobu's right. Triple R was this year or last year.
Yeah.
That was fucking sick. We watched that over New Year's again, and it's so good. It's such a good movie.
Hell yeah, bro.
film
Hindu
would be-
nationalism.
Yeah, Modi would be so. Modi is proud. He's still there.
He will be scanned by Kojima next.
I love that tweet so much. We scanned him.
I wanted it to watch with my boyfriend, but somehow that hasn't materialized, so it's still on my watch list. But yeah, I absolutely look forward to watching it because I just hear all the happiness and raving from all the sides, especially from you guys. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Like my only complaint on rewatch was that like the second half starts off a little like slow, but it's a 3-hour movie, so like that's gonna happen. But when it hits, it fucking hits. It's so good.
Do you too hate the British Empire? Boy, do I have a movie for you.
It is so funny that they made a movie that made British colonists like so mad that they made the British evil. They're so comically evil, and it's so good. It gave us think pieces that were like, should we be villainizing the British?
Yeah.
And yes, yeah, we should.
They made it historically accurate, so it's exactly how they were.
They're literally cartoon characters.
Just like, a British guy puffing on a big pipe and twirling like a mustache twice the size of his head.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great. I need to watch it.
What other movies?
I have my film tabs open here, and literally the only things I gave 5 stars this year was the Stavros Halkias comedy special and Prehistoric Planet Baby.
Dinosaurs.
Fuck yeah, dinosaurs. Bills the Bufo gang rise up. Every episode another child gets killed and eaten.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely fantastic series. I wish I could watch it on anything legally. Who the fuck has Apple TV? That's nonsense.
No one.
That doesn't
Aliens.
exist.
No. I don't have an
It's a
Apple
myth.
device.
Okay, I have Good Luck to You, Leo Grande. Anybody watch
Oh
that?
yeah. I didn't see it, but I had been meaning to.
Yeah, that was fun. So, older lady played by Emma Thompson decides that after her husband's passing, she wants some fun in her life and calls like a very nice London call boy. And it's basically the whole movie that just plays in sort of the bed hotel room over many meetings, and it's like a very fun, what do you call it, like closed room theater piece nearly, of both of them kind of exploring what they do in life, what life is, finding out boundaries, learning about stuff. That was a fun movie. I really liked it. It was kind of a Corona production. You only
Oh,
have
yeah.
one room and like 2 people, and just it's done.
Yeah. It did look like it was like filmed like a travel lodge or something somewhere. Just
Yeah. Yeah, and it's super great. Also, Emma Thompson, love her absolutely, super fun. I have a Japanese movie I can throw in because
Ooh.
I saw the digital the Japan Film Festival, and the film I saw was Pop Run. It was called, and that's the new movie by the director from One Cut of the Dead.
oh,
He did a new one after also doing Special Actors, which was very cool in 2019, which is about cults and the problem of that, which absolutely nothing happened this year. But Pop Run has a very good premise, that being one day in Japan, from some men have a problem. Their penis flies off and it flies away at
We've all
200
been there.
kilometers.
Yeah, normal day.
they just fly away at high speed, high velocity, flying dicks all over Japan. But the problem is they are still sort of connected mentally to it, so when any damage happens to them, you feel it. So you have like people breaking down in the street because Dick has hit skyscraper. Anyway, so the question becomes, okay, how do you get Dick back? And of course you cannot hit it or do damage to it. So you have like several men in Japan running around with big like fish nets, trying to catch it. And because in their dreams they can see where it can maybe go, and it's always the Dick goes back to emotional places that you have dealt with. So it's kind of it's silly on one side, but also kind of emotional drama. It has both. Also, flying penises that make little flappy noises with their balls.
Finally, some representation, Jesus.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And what I liked about it, or what I think I needed to understand, was I thought the film was very slow for the kind of silliness that it has, because it plays it very seriously. Like these guys like finding out what's happening, and then they meet up and like.
Well, it's no joke.
Yeah, it is no joke. It is serious. Like, what do you do when your dick flies away? Problem. And they sort of meet in like anonymous like problem groups, like, hi, we have all the same problem, like what did we do, how do we even pee without a dick, because that also is a problem. So they're like men's self-help groups of finding flying penises again, but your penis, not anybody else's. You need to find the proper one, because you can sort of Lego brick them back on if you find it. What I liked about it, it was super serious the whole time, because it was not as high energy, let's say, as like One Cut of the Dead. And I wondered why. Like, why is this so serious, like so reserved even? Like, even not a lot of color, like very in sort of grayish, beige, desaturated. Until I think about like halfway into the movie, it clicked. Because this, and I think this is how you have to see it, is parody of Haruki Murakami movies. Like this sort of very dramatic, emotional drama stuff where people stand at a beach for 5 minutes and speak 2 words and somebody starts crying. That kind of movie. It's exactly taking the piss out of that one. That it's big emotional stuff, only flying dicks. So yeah, I can recommend it if you look at it at that lens. I think if you try to see it as like hype funny haha comedy, you will not have a good time. But if you see it as a sort of slap to like the big Japanese emotional cinema, then it works perfectly.
So it's like
Nice.
an anime adaptation of like Norwegian Wood or something.
It's Wood,
No,
alright.
it's got I don't know if you know, because it's an Australian author. A guy called Andy Griffiths had a book series called The Day My Bum Went Psycho, and it's about like butts detaching, and like they've got their own like mentality, they've got their own mission, and it's like it's like very much a sort of parody series. Like it goes to space and it goes to like the end of the world and all that stuff. But I do not work very well, but I did read the series when I was a child.
It's a butt on a mission. It just goes away.
Yeah, it's about a boy, like he needs to like foster this like real relationship with his butt so he can get it back, so he can, sit down, shit. Man, we are back to pissing and shitting, huh?
Yeah,
It always does.
it always does. I have one that I am just very confused about. Did you see 3,000 Years of Longing?
That's the new what's his name movie, right?
Yeah, Idris Elba as Big Jin movie.
The Mad Max guy, yeah. No, I didn't see it. I kind of passed me by. I didn't really see many people talking about it at all, which is surprising. So I assumed it was kind of mid, but
Yeah, because it's interesting for most of the time. Let's say like the first half, and then it does a twist bamboozlement that some of the people in the cinema just audibly went huh to where I was, including me. Then it just continues in that direction and it never looks back, and you think, okay, didn't see that coming. But yeah, I didn't like it at all for the kind of twisty that it takes. But yeah, it's also by an old British short story stuff. Like, yeah, you kind of feel that. It's like, I don't know. Is this supposed to be proto-feminism? I don't know. Kind of whack, to be honest. Yeah. So I am confused about this movie, and I didn't like it.
That is a shame. Yeah, no, I didn't really see many people talk about it at all. Like, I think people are more interested in the next Mad Max than whatever that movie was.
Yeah. We have any info on that yet?
There's been vague info, like, I think, like, conflicting, because there's been, like, at least 2 or 3 movies that have been announced or, like, rumored, so there's not much information. I know there's vaguely coming soon.
At the end of the year, we also had Glass Onion, which I liked a lot. I saw from Letterboxd that you, Boris, didn't like it that much.
I've seen some, like, really scathing reviews of that, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of needed that just for my heart. It was written in 2019, but basically just everything it criticizes is just, like, very much the zeitgeist of this year. We have, like, man's rights Twitch streamers get the shit kicked out of them. We have, like, an Elon Musk type of character.
To be fair, that was the zeitgeist in 2019 as well. It's just exacerbated.
It's 2019 exactly. Forever, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus some other bits that I liked a lot. Also, it is a movie that at least talks a little bit about the pandemic as well. So they are, like, straight in, like, Corona pandemic lockdown in the beginning of the movie. So yeah, that I liked it a lot. I had a very good time. I know that it has, I don't want to say a twist at the end, at the middle. Yeah, it sort of goes off into a slightly different direction. I think this is where it loses some people. For me, it was super duper fun. And yeah, I think that was one of my highlights this year. Just for having just unbridled joy and Schadenfreude at anything happening, like, in this movie. Also, I don't know if it maybe changed something that I watched in German dub. Because then you have, like, German dub Daniel Craig on it. Who, like, uses his usual, like, the smooth James Bond voice instead of the accent that he usually does.
That's weird as hell.
That feels weird, yeah. I don't know if I'd like... I'm kind of missing out on Daniel Craig doing his deep southern Belle voice.
Yeah,
for some reason.
For some reason. So... Yeah, also, that man's be canon gay now. So he has a very cool Easter egg husband that I liked a lot. Yeah, maybe it enhanced the movie for me that I saw him with his James Bond voice instead of Southern voice. But yeah, that was one of my highlights. I just needed it for the state of being that I was in.
That is fair. What other
Has anyone else seen Shin Ultraman?
I haven't. I want to see it soon.
It's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Speaking as a guy who has seen, like, half a season, not even half, like a third of the first Ultraman season and nothing else. Pretty great stuff. I like I like to feel optimistic about humanity, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Ah, nice.
It's why watching Toku is just good for your soul.
It is, yeah.
It is.
Should probably do it more often. I also love
Yeah,
in the
what-
movie how like bizarre fucking Ultraman is. Like he's literally the fucking whatever he's called, the dancing gray alien to the weird music. Like that's the energy he's giving off the entire time. Just
Oh,
being like,
perfect.
"Hey, Lamau."
He's just a funny little guy.
He is, except he's really, really big.
Yeah, isn't that Hideaki Anno
Finally.
in the suit? Yeah, he finally gets to play Ultraman.
Finally, funny big guy.
I'm so happy for him. He finally can do it.
I'm not sure if it is a suit or CG or whatever, because they
Uh-huh.
deliberately made the CG so that it looks like weird fake suits, which is an interesting decision.
That
So
yeah,
there
that
might-
would make sense. Yeah,
There might be some blending there that I don't know if I.
because I'm pretty
Yeah,
because like with Shin Godzilla, they abandoned doing it as a suit in favor of doing CG. So I'd imagine they're continuing down that road of trying to make a more like authentic like CG Toku type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it fits for Ultraman a lot better than I guess for Godzilla. Godzilla can be scary.
Yeah.
Ultraman, I don't know.
He's just a guy.
That's the fucking guy, Howard the Alien. That's it.
How would...
The alien day. Okay.
Yeah, I just saw the dance tutorial and was immediately mesmerized.
Oh,
We
what
all
else
have
is
to
there?
learn that.
Did anyone see Elvis?
No, no, absolutely not.
It was fine. I've not been as like smitten with it as a lot of people. I'm not a big Baz Luhrmann guy in the first place. The first like 40 minutes, like this is like 2.5 hour movie. Like first 40 minutes were pretty cool and creative, and then it kind of fell into being a bit of a biopic sludge. But it seems like it's a pretty compelling to some people, so I can't necessarily not recommend it. Tom Hanks is like one of the most bizarre performances I've seen all year.
He's
Oh,
white.
he's in there.
I love that scene. That scene is so...
Yeah, I had my flatmate went and saw it. She's like, "Oh yeah, they're like really respectful to all the black artists and the black culture at the time." I'm like, "Oh, so they mentioned how he stole music?" And she's like, "Oh, well, no, but."
It's got a weird relationship with it. Like he's like super like engaged with his like roots of going to like soul shows like to, when his parents didn't know and stuff like that. But there's not a whole lot of like being in touch with or like accepting the more rocky sides of his relationship with black music. What else came out? There was the new Hellraiser. That was... I mean this as a positive, given Hellraiser's current history of sequels, but it was mid-positive. Like, it was kind of underwhelming generally, but when Hellraiser is a franchise with some of the fucking worst sequels out there, this was a breath of fresh air in a way.
Can only go up from here.
Yeah, we'll get some cool Cenobites one day, surely.
I mean, some of the ones in this one were pretty cool. I like the guy who has a face but no head.
Yeah. The Cenobites in this one are definitely designed to look good in the low luminescent light of the movie than look great in like daylight. Because they're all like kind of like skin suits. They're like wearing like fashion made of skin and stuff, and it's a really interesting approach. There's some good concept art of it.
Yeah, found out later that it was done by Keith Thompson, who was
Yes. But yeah, it's cool. Jamie Clayton Pinhead's pretty good. Chatterer's there briefly.
Also, it's in Serbia.
It's in Serbia. There's
They find the lament configuration in Serbia. It's like, well, of course, where else would it be?
Yeah, it's Serbia #1, all the rest of Europe.
They have no Cenobites.
Yeah.
Also,
Bosnian
the villain is
Cenobite
like,
versus Serbian Cenobite.
There's a Cenobite that just has a bunch of forks sticking out of his head. Yeah.
I mean, the villain of the movie is also played by like a Croatian actor, I think. So, yeah.
Ah, well, yeah, naturally.
Of course.
Okay. As you mentioned, the biopics, I sadly haven't seen it yet. The Weird Yankovic movie with Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh yeah, I think we briefly talked about that last time. Yeah.
Is that a biopic?
It's like a parody. Joke biopic, yeah.
He apparently had an affair with Madonna, and it's completely like overblown. But I think it fits like the maniacal energy of Daniel Radcliffe just going ham.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch the new Batman film this year?
I did not. I forgot that was last year.
Yeah,
Batman is so sexy,
I've
dude.
not seen it. I
He's
got
so
my Robert
hot.
Pattinson. I got my Robert Pattinson fix elsewhere. I watched The King, but that's a film from 2 years ago. He's good in it though. He plays the Dauphin, but not 2022 yet.
Yeah, from Batman I just saw a lot of fun, brooding, like, emo kid fan art, like the new Batman. So it looked like it was probably fun.
I gotta go back to something real quick. We gotta get away from 3-hour movies. We gotta go away from 4-hour movies.
Yeah.
Avatar 2. That was the best thing about. I watched the menu. The best thing about that film was like an hour and a half long. Incredible.
But it's not as good as Avatar 2, so.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Tom doesn't see the vision.
No, I don't. It's like the new people in Avatar are based off like heavily of multicultural, and it's like, oh, that's interesting, I guess. And it's like, yeah, one of them's just played by Cliff Curtis. I'm like, oh, the guy that I like Cliff Curtis. He's a good actor. Shame his most famous role is like as a rapist. Like that was the whole point of his role in Once Were Warriors.
Is that why the movie is bad, or?
I don't know. I've not seen Avatar 2. I don't think I'm gonna see Avatar 2.
You gotta believe in the vision, man. Big James got this.
Yeah, James Cameron already announced that they're going to be fire avatars in the next one.
Hell yeah, it's like double Avatar now.
Oh.
I haven't even seen the first Avatar, but he said that they want to make a new Alita movie, so I trust the vision if it gets us another Alita movie.
I kneel, bro.
I'll swallow the pill if we get another Alita.
I need a new Alita movie in my life.
Well, you have to watch Avatar so we can finance Alita.
That's
God
true.
damn it.
$500 million Alita movie. Think about it.
Yeah. How many? 15 euros at the cinema will surely contribute to that. Yeah, by the way, I have a little underdog movie that I want to showcase from last year.
Nice.
Avatar 2.
It's Dos Mukasan. It's a film from Kazakhstan.
Ooh.
Because I was lucky enough to catch the Kazakh Film Festival that was close to me. And they had some movies from that released this year. And this was called Dos Mukasan, which is also the name of the band that it's about. So it's a biopic movie. I can throw that in chat so that people know what it's called. Mu Kasan, just how you pronounce it. And the interesting thing is, it's a biopic, but it's like super fun made, kind of like a Rocketman style. I found it to be, with sort of them replaying the whole band's history with like fun musical bits in the middle. Yeah, and they were a let's say rock alternative band from the 60s and 70s. And they were sort of the Kazakh Beatles, and back then the Soviets didn't like that because they are not doing fun good music. But yeah, they really took off. Their music slaps, and just all of the actors playing them are so just comfy, nice, wholesome dudes. It's an absolute feel-good movie, and like has so many just fun film stuff trickery in it, especially with the musical bits. There's a lot of camera tricks happening with physical effects, where like transitioning from one room into the other, and then just the wall disappears and there's a new room, and movie goes through window, comes out the other side. So absolutely fun. I have no clue if I will see that film ever again, if it will ever be released internationally. If you know where I can watch it again, please tell me. But yeah, I would love to have for more people to actually see it, because that was just really good.
It's probably up on some like obscure tracker somewhere with 0 seeders. Like, but it might show up in like the future if it gets like, I don't know, if it gets another like festival release or something, it might show up. Definitely looks like a film that will probably never get like English subs. But it does look really nice from what you've been saying, so I'd like to see it.
And especially the music is still like super good. Yeah, and you also get to see the original band like, at the end, where you have like all the like cool old grandpas like playing their songs. So yeah, cool. Really enjoyed that. Unfortunately, couldn't catch some of the other movies due to work interfering. But yeah, I hope that the Kazakh Film Festival comes back this year again, so I can watch some more.
Nice. What else came out?
Ranks a physical copy of Lost in Cast.
Again, I didn't hear you, Tom.
Oh, sorry, I was saying, see if you can wrangle us a physical copy when they come back through.
Yeah. There was a new at long last, a new Dario Argento movie this year, following up Dracula 3D, and it was fine. It was a little. I don't think he's like lost it, but this movie was just kind of like whatever. He's still a freak, and there's still good freak bits. There's still a dog that like tears a guy's throat out. But like in general, the movie's kind of whatever. But it's a new Dario Argento.
I didn't knew he was still making movies, but here we are.
He was rumored to be working with Daft Punk for like a couple years. There was like this rumor going around that he was working with Daft Punk, and then they broke up, and it was like, I guess that news was like not real. And then his new movie came out, and there's no Daft Punk anywhere. So like, if that was ever true, I would love to see it, but I don't think that was ever true. They should make Dracula 4D, Dracula with smell.
Yeah.
They should make Dracula double D, hell yeah.
Yeah. Dracula with
Dracula, hell yeah.
Give him big old honkers.
Yeah.
Os badoncarunos.
There
I had
was the new Nick Cage film this year. I didn't see it. What was it called?
Was
The
it
Nick Cage film.
Yeah, it had like Pedro Pascal in it.
Yeah, but it didn't kiss.
Oh.
Damn it.
No.
It wasn't that good. It really flubbed it.
Speaking of Dracula,
Wait.
he's playing Dracula like this year.
Oh fuck! I forgot to watch that
the,
trailer.
like,
I gotta
Rain
see that.
film, yeah.
Oh damn.
Nicolas Cage Dracula.
Man,
Renfield.
was meant to be Yeah, he was made to be fucking Dracula. The trailers are so funny. Because it's not the first vampire film he's done either.
No.
Right.
I don't even know what that's from, but is that him running down the street going, "I'm a vampire, I'm a vampire"? Is that one?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Just as a side note, I didn't watch Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio yet, but I don't know, is it this year or does it still belong in last?
It was last year. I mean, you know, end of last year, so whenever it comes out in your region, I suppose.
Yeah, because new Guillermo del Toro movie, very excited for that. Also, he doing stop motion, that also very fun. So yeah, that's what I'm going to watch soonish.
Nice.
Yeah, I got tickets for Banshees of Inisherin tomorrow.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, it's
What was
good.
that?
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm gonna have to legally download that film because the good lord is nowhere in this country fucking showing it.
Oh no.
Oh damn. Because for Germany it just got released like last week. So they're really late to the party again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're also about to get it like next month or some shit. It's like,
Yeah.
Boris has already seen it, so
yeah, I've already seen it legally.
Colin Farrell
And
hooked him up.
Hell yeah, he
yeah,
did.
good friend Colin Farrell.
He called me and he was like, "You gotta see this shit."
You're the number one Bruges fan.
I am.
I like the compliment.
Find me a bigger in Bruges fan, and I will kill him.
I know Banshees is good because the Irish people I follow have been like, this movie definitely like plays to the Yanks, but also it's really good, so I can't begrudge it. So like, if there's any like good testament to whether a like the grouchy Irishman movie is good, the Irish like it, despite it being like aimed at Americans.
They're still a bit grouchy about it though.
Yeah.
Tiny bit. Cool. I have a tiny Netflix recommendation that I can throw out. There was
Impossible.
a new. Okay, I'm just throwing out just window out. It's Rowan Atkinson made a new little comedy special called Man vs. Bee, which is
Oh yeah, I
very
think I've
simple.
heard about that.
Yeah, it's a cute little mini series where I think it's 6, 7, 8 episodes, but just every episode is like between 5 or 10 minutes, so you can just easily slurp that away in one afternoon.
Is that the episode from Breaking Bad? Just like as a Rowan Atkinson special?
I think it is, because it's just also like a Corona production, but like the premise is like super simple. You have Rowan Atkinson being a house sitter, just takes care of like super rich people's houses, and yeah, he comes into this like parasite kind of house. It's like super automated with everything. They're just needing codes, voice activated stuff, 5,000 remotes. The dog has a food allergy that is to take care of, and it's just like, yeah, we're just going to leave for the weekend, so see you later. And like a big ass bumblebee follows him into the house. And basically, it's like a Tom and Jerry bee versus Rowan Atkinson, and of course you have like this huge house that just can go wrong in many different ways. So yeah, I would have loved to go it goes a little bit harder. For what it already does, it was very fun. So if you just want a fun afternoon, Man vs. Bee is a cute little comedy.
I don't know what else. I think that's most of the movies I've seen from last year. New Scream was whatever. Skeptical about the next Scream that's coming out like in a couple months or so. I'm kind of.
We're getting a new one?
Yeah. I'm kind of done with that franchise after the last one. But
Did anyone see Barbarian?
I did not. It's on my list to
I
see.
didn't.
I saw the Northman.
Oh,
was
yeah, it was also.
had,
That was
had
pretty
Willem
cool, dude.
Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is like full Goblin mode. Real happy for that.
He's farting.
I think. Yeah,
Fun.
I thought it was fine. I didn't love it as much as a lot of people seem to. It was like a very impressive looking film, but like, I'm sorry, Hamlet's old. Hamlet's outdated. Donald Trump was old.
Okay, but what if it was in 4D and you could smell Willem Dafoe's farts?
Okay. Game changer. Yeah, also, hi Thaddeus and hi Draven for checking in. We are at the moment
Yeah.
finishing up films of 2022.
Yeah, welcome
You
to
came
me
in
when you
just
snip
for the
snipping.
Welcome to
Fart-
Fartcast.
Welcome
As
to
usual.
Fartcast.
Where we deliver the thickest, but
where we huff the warmest farts.
I'm imagining like Joe Rogan style, like Jamie pull that up, and it's just like a soundboard entirely of farts.
It's just a fucking diva
Oh my
fart
God.
video.
I think the last film I have on my list is I watched Bodies, which I think achieved its goal of being as annoying as it wanted to be.
Hell yeah, it did.
oh damn, what is it? Yeah, I've never heard about it.
It's
It's
every
like,
Twitter call-out thread, but as a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like super zoomer TikTok, like horror movie. That's all I know about it.
That doesn't sound like it's going to be in my ballpark.
Probably not.
No, it's like I didn't like most of the actors, but I like appreciated what it was going for. I'm sorry, Pete Davidson, who decided he was an actor.
Pete Davidson, probably.
A big dick gets you so many places in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Pete Davidson gets like minor points for turning Kanye West into like the most divorced man ever, but also that's led to the current state of Kanye West, so like I can't give him that many props.
Wait, he was in the Suicide Squad?
Was he? Oof.
Apparently.
He gets like exploded after like 1 minute or whatever, so it's whatever.
As he should.
As he should.
Does this wrap up movies for us?
I think so. They didn't make any more films after that.
There was no
Yeah.
more movies.
The last one I'll say is the Godzilla
Black
Fest
Adam.
shorts. They're really good. You should watch the funny fat CG Gigan short and then the like short they made in the suits that is celebrating the whatever anniversary of Godzilla vs. Gigan.
Oh,
I've seen the one with the fat guys, so there's that.
The fat guys one's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been super cool seeing over the last couple years of them like making 50th anniversary shorts celebrating the old Showa movies. Like they did Hedorah last year. I imagine they're doing, I don't know what comes next. I think Megalon's this year, so probably like some Jet Jaguar stuff would be cool. But yeah, those shorts are really fun. Funny fat guy again.
yes. Then we could go to anime already. I don't have that many. Did you see many anime this year?
I saw Tekken Bloodline, and it was Tekken Bloodline. And I'm watching Bleach, which is Bleach, so that wraps up anime, I think, for me.
Bleach sure is the most Bleach I've ever seen Bleach be.
Yeah.
I can't believe Bleach fans fucking won.
They did.
They are more powerful than everyone else.
Apparently.
It's good. It's fine. It's Bleach. I enjoy Bleach as much as the average person.
but not as much
I don't
as
know.
Bleach fans
Yeah.
like Bleach. Yeah, I don't
like-
remember if I watched anything else. I watched Chucky season 2, which I probably should have said in movies, but that I'm gonna include it here because Chucky season 2 was fucking nuts and it's good. That's my anime of the year.
That's the anime of the year.
I'm gonna keep slowballing into the anime. Did you guys see that they reanimated Ruby?
I did hear about that.
I
Amy
saw
was
the
talking about that.
announcement. Yeah, I saw the trailer,
Yeah,
I think.
it's out. It's on Crunchyroll. I watched like the
Yeah.
first episode. I'm like, yeah, this is Ruby. Believe it or not, the issue with Ruby was actually never the animation in the early seasons. It was always actually the writing.
I
Yeah,
only
in
saw
the early
the
seasons when
H-bomber guy
Montione was still
video.
alive, the animation was actually quite good. It like looked very simple, but it was.
Isn't
was
it a
actually very
Shaft show as well? The new
I
one?
think it is. I think we have the most cursed concept, which is Shaft Ruby.
Why did they call that fucking studio Shaft, dude?
Studio balls.
Studio testicles.
Studio Pipe, yeah, etc.
I have to. Do we still have something about Shaft?
I've
I've said
see
all
a
of my
fucking
jokes.
new DBZ movie?
Oh,
That shit
yeah.
rocks. Piccolo
Piccolo
is
movie.
orange now.
Why
He's
did he become
orange.
orange? Is he no longer vitamin C deficient?
It's his new form, dude.
Yeah.
If you're a Dragon Ball fan and you see a character change colors, that's the hypest shit.
Yeah. Piccolo Naranja comes on screen and I do the pog face.
Hell yeah, it did. That was me in the cinema, baby. Cheering.
Yeah. I hear that apparently the Dragon Ball Super movies go very hard. They basically throw in all the Sakuga that is possible. So
This one goes hard because Goku is not in it.
Oh wow.
Just they just threw him out.
No more Goku. Goku's done.
He's not involved in the main conflict. It's just Piccolo and Gohan.
Goku died. Well, they actually
He dies all the
that's
fucking
wrong.
time.
Hey, there's
Goku's voice actress in Japan died. Did she?
no.
No, she didn't. I don't
She
think
didn't?
so.
I imagined her dying. I'm sorry. I did that with such confidence.
You wish they're dead.
No, she seems fine. I don't know.
It's okay. Well, the two big ones I have is Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Finally,
Oh, yeah.
Ivanchi coming in, delivering
Right.
the good shit.
Actually, yeah, I forgot about that. That was banging as hell.
That was sick as fuck.
For Ivanchi,
Shout
I
out
think you
to
will do-
Franz Ferdinand for getting royalties on the fucking Cyberpunk OP.
Yeah. I don't know what it is with Franz Ferdinand and OPs, but they also have the I think Paradise Kiss.
Yeah,
ending
they
as
do.
well.
The ending, yeah.
Yeah, so they're just going. So,
They also have that one fucking black metal song that I ever heard in an anime, and that was sick. I was really feeling it.
cool. Yeah, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, perfect size, super good German dub as well. Absolute fun, and I just love it when there's like physics glitch
Fun.
happening.
You thought that last episode was fun?
Kinda. It's
like-
becomes I think more soul crushing the longer it goes on. But yeah,
Well,
I
that's kind of
absolutely
the
lost
point
it.
of it, which is good. Like it's sort of
chase
like. Sorry. As I say, it sort of feels like a really good realization of what the cyberpunk world is sort of supposed to be. Like it is quite a sad, tragic story through the whole thing, and quite telling that like, oh no, like you don't actually, it actually isn't that hard to get people invested in these characters. You just have to do some writing, which the cyberpunk video game forgot to do. They forgot to write stuff, which is like a big mistake, rookie mistake. Like I understand.
They put their writing budget into getting Keanu Reeves, so you
Yeah.
know.
And it didn't pay off because he wasn't very good.
Yeah, but there's the funny
I ha-
videos where they cut it off and he says "cum" and "cock,"
Hell yeah!
which is
Wait,
all I know
wait.
about Cyberpunk.
Right. Jerk your
If it-
cock.
I think it was worth it for that. Like just making that big flop of a game.
We had JoJo Part 6 finally rolling in, which was
Oh, yeah.
very fun. Just that the Netflix release didn't garner
What a
any
terrible
whatsoever.
release of that fucking show. I remember watching the first episode of it like last New Year's and thinking, oh, this will be good to watch over the year, and then it was like 10 episodes and they stopped.
Yeah, then they just did,
Incredible.
okay, here's the second batch, just have it.
Just as
Just-
scuffed as the manga release of Stone Ocean, which is good. It's thematic.
That's true, yeah, I didn't think about that.
That's why
They're
they did it.
replicating that.
Stone Ocean, more than like any of the other parts, is the one you want to like watch pretty close together. Like, it's pretty quick, so like breaking Stone Ocean up is weird. Or Stone Ocean, you know, is it Stone Ocean? Stone Ocean.
Yes.
It's been ages since I've engaged with JoJo.
We had proper Florida representation finally in anime.
Yes.
You
That's
go
just
there
what
and
it's
you
like
fucking
now.
die.
Yeah.
The universe ends.
Regular Baptist priest Poochie. Yeah.
Did they put the KKK in the anime?
Hell yeah. It's just how it is done. Yeah. Don't cross check me on that.
But the real question is, are we excited for all the CGI horses that are going to be in the Steel Ball Run anime must be like 2 years out?
It's gonna be CGI horses and CGI balls, and it's gonna look fucking.
Yeah.
We finally get the animated fucking pizza mozzarella song. It's so good.
We finally get animated fall off your horse, shithead.
Yeah. Eat shit, fall off your horse. Oh my god.
I think it's Stone Ocean together with like the second half of Part 5 was that I went completely blind again on JoJo, and I think this is just the perfect way for me to enjoy it, because just watching JoJo blind is like beautiful experience. So yeah, watching Stone Ocean completely blind was a fun, good time. So I think I will keep this for Steel Ball Run, just not engage with the manga, maybe read afterwards, but I will see, I will check.
New JoJo part starts pretty soon, right?
Yeah,
Part 9?
JoJo Land, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to finish JoJolian at some point, but
Oh, right, fuck.
yeah, don't worry. I was the same. Like a couple months ago, I was like, oh, fuck.
I started it like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Unironically, I like started. We were reading it right when we started this fucking podcast.
It's been a
so
minute.
it's gonna, yeah, I'm gonna have to reread the whole thing, which isn't bad. I like a lot of the early stuff in JoJolian.
By the way, do you recommend reading Steel Ball Run? Or should
I mean,
we
I
wait
think,
for this?
like, Stone Ocean has a lot of issues that I probably wouldn't recommend reading it, because I think the anime was quite good in the end. So, but I do think Steel Ball Run's really well realized for both like Araki's art and like well-paced storytelling. So, it's worth a read. But if you enjoy watching blind, just go blind. You'll get to see Dio.
Hell yeah.
A version of Dio.
A version of Dio who has a stand that will probably also be a lot of CGI.
Oh.
Absolutely.
God damn it.
Oh.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know much about Steel Ball Run, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I heard about it as well. I think wasn't that also around the time where he switched from weekly to monthly?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it changed
switched.
to monthly.
Yeah.
So you noticed the change.
Yeah, so I think this is kind of why I want to read it, just to see how it changes.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would do a big think, just see how I'm gonna do it. I want to point out that Pop Team Epic Season 2 came out.
Hell yeah, I still need to see it.
It's okay. The first season already was like kind of post fun bonkers stuff, but just for season 2 they just ramped it up like so hard. That not only did they have like proper voice actor duos that like fit together thematically, but also like have the jokes in that episode like fit to them. Like for example, you have like Kiryu and Majima doing like old guys doing manzai together and just like ticketing contest and just them going ape shit, as well as what were they, Snake and Raiden, like fighting with like whipped cream and just
Canon.
Yeah, just all of that. And they have again tokusatsu bits happening that look exceptionally good. Apparently, like people who watched it told me that it is indistinguishable from modern toku. Like this is how it do be looking.
Yeah, it does look like that, which is very funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of CGI,
Yeah, it has that feeling, and it's still time traveling idol Shota Aoi being the protagonist of that. Like a Pop Team Epic suit, they're just noodles on. And there's like so many gags that I would recommend like everybody to just look at like different, not write-ups, but at least like casts, or sometimes you need a write-up to get like very specific jokes. For example, in the very last episode, there is 2 actors appear that have the same name but just spelled differently with kanjis. Apparently it is a joke because one of the 2 kind of complained on the internet that like I'm a voice actor, let's say Shinji, and every time people look up Shinji they find the actor instead of the voice actor, so that makes me mad. So they casted both of them at the same time in the Toko series, and also the voice actor dubs over the other actor as well. So like in the real life he speaks the voice of the other guy as well. It's perfect. I love it. And also guest animators coming on. The whole Hellshake Yano guys are back doing a whole episode in that flipbook style. For example, we have Kiki Flipnote doing an ED. That Blessed Man coming in doing bouncy birds. It's the Pop Team Epic girls. So yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah, and like a whole half mecha episode directed by Obari. Again.
Sick.
yeah. Pop Team Epic Season 2 just decided it was going to be the anime of all time. Literally, it's everything.
Yes. That's
like
exactly
how we have
it.
like we have in life we have apps that do everything, stores that do everything, films that do everything. Now we have the anime that does it. So
I think Pop Team Epic Season 2 does really everything.
no.
Hey, shout out Dude.
Do. We can mention that Chainsaw Man happened. That was fun.
Yeah,
I
Chainsaw Man was
have
a really
it.
good time.
I have it downloaded. I haven't watched it yet, but that's probably gonna be next week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did
Really good music
anyone
for
watch
us.
New Gundam?
I did not. I have been very much informed on New Gundam, but I have not actually seen it.
It's fun. I like it so far. I think I have 4 or 5 episodes in.
Nice.
It's fine. I'm about 10 episodes in. I've got another couple episodes to go. And I think I can guess how the ending's gonna go for this season at least.
Season 2 is already announced.
Yeah, well, it's pretty obvious it's a Gundam show. It's not gonna be 12 episodes long.
Yeah, pretty much.
But, like, I had some issues with it. Like, Soletta and stuff started off quite strong, but I found kind of frustrating as it went on. So like, oh, she's sort of got unfortunate Mary Sue kind of vibes, like everyone. sort of falling in love with her and all that. I am the number one, Gyul stan. If there is one fan.
Fucking Gyul Jet Turk. We should
Gyul
do a ranking of the Gundam names in this show.
One, negative drip. Two, characters that fuck. Three, names are just awful. It's like really funny.
Fucking Choo Choo.
Yeah, Choo Choo the racist. Incredible. Her name's Choo Choo, and her personality trait is being racist. She's just Serbian.
What? So, there's no denying it.
I like
Sean?
that Gyul got owned and just decided to start camping out in the woods. He didn't have to.
He just did.
Dude, he gets like Omega owned in the last episode. You gotta see it.
Cool.
You just can't catch a break.
Yeah, and I enjoyed some of the sort of backroom politics, but as soon as we got into, okay, we're going to talk about, we're going to replicate your Economics 101 class, but it's about selling a Gundam. Snooze. Snore. There's like 2 or 3 episodes there in the middle that just blow ass. Awful.
There's like 3 episodes without any fucking robots.
What?
Yeah, it sucks. Actually, it's not even like I'm joking, being like, "Oh, where's the robot?" It's unironic, but just really not even. It's not fun.
Where is the robot?
Yeah, there's some dips in quality. Yeah, sure. But
and it is not. It's not the gayest Gundam. It's not the gayest Gundam. It's not. I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
Charles
Turn
Counterattack exists.
It's not Turn A, and it's not Charles Counterattack. So,
like literally all of them are basically pretty gay.
yeah. Mr. Quattro Vagina himself.
I'm not gay, I swear. I called myself 4 vaginas. I love vaginas so much. I love 4 of them.
I only have a little shout out for Do It Yourself, which is a very
I watched
comfy
the-
slice of life show.
Yeah, I watched the first episode. It was cute. I gotta watch more.
Yeah, I think I saw like 3 or 4 episodes. Yeah, and it continues to be very comfy. Also, the character design being super cute. I forgot who's in the staff, but I think it was some Kyoani staff noodling into a different studio, so I think it was somewhere
that's
around
good.
there.
Good to hear.
So, by the way, same for Gundam apparently, because it's some of the Trigger Kisnaiva stuff on Gundam Witch. So I think that explains the look a little bit. So
Given the industry at the moment, I imagine people are moving around and figuring out where they have a future, given just how unstable things have been the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's
Yeah,
probably like whole teams of people that are like, yeah, we should probably go on this project that's going to be potentially big.
I would like to make some money.
Yeah.
No.
Please let me eat.
No.
Oh,
You can sleep under your desk and be grateful for it.
I gotta remember that sad post about how to sleep in the office.
Oh, that is
They're just
No.
all different
Yeah.
arrangements of chairs.
You save so much money on rent if you just sleep in the office.
Yeah.
Nice.
Back to like sort of in a similar vein to Pop Team Epic though. A show that also made good use of sort of alternative animation and styles was Bocce the Rock, a show I didn't expect to like as much as I am currently watching it at the moment.
Yeah, I always see like clips and many people tell me that it's good. So yeah, that looks super fascinating.
Yeah, the core story I don't think is anything too special, but it's like the animations, like styles and changes and stuff is a lot of fun, and the music's pretty decent, so works out well. One of the girls has a little Dorito that sits on top of her head, and I want to pull it off. I want to grab it and pull it.
Get over here, Dorito face. That wraps up anime for me. If anybody has anything else going on.
Oh
I
boy,
don't think I watched any other anime. Oh hell yeah!
I'm here. I'm on top this year. I actually watched a couple other shows. I watched Mob Psycho 3.
Oh yeah,
that came out.
I need to get to that.
Very good as always. More Mob Psycho. I don't think there's too much to say about this season. In terms of like.
It's like wrapping things up right this season.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite good. Good in that fact. Like I enjoy it. It's like, oh, like here's the plot threads instead of like you'd see in season 1. It's like, well, here we go. Here's the kind of natural progression here. I watched Vinland Saga. I didn't come out this year, but I did watch it finally. It's better than the manga, which is saying a lot because I quite enjoyed the manga. The new season of it has just started as well, actually.
Oh yeah, true. I still have to start Vinland Saga because it looks like a very me show. Oh yeah, theoretically I also watched Spy Family.
Oh yeah.
It was good.
It's cute,
But
it's fun.
What does theoretically mean?
Hypothetically, yeah.
Pathetic, yeah.
Let's say hypothetically. That you watched Spy Family.
Yeah, exactly that. I watched 5 or 6. No, wait. I saw actually the first core thingy, and I haven't started the second.
I'm halfway through the second core now. I don't think it's quite as strong. I think some of the side characters are not quite as good as like the core cast. But it's cute. It's comfy. It's fun.
Yep. There's a lot of fun with it, so that's good.
I also, when I was ill one time, I watched Love After World Domination, which was like a tokusatsu anime about one of the villains and one of the heroes falling in love and having a little like secret relationship. And it was like very, very plain, very simple. And I wanted to send a screenshot to Alana because one of the other, two of the other villains start dating, and one of them's just a bear. A girl dates a bear.
Bear! Oh yeah, that isn't Dorito on her head. Take it off. Just.
I pluck it, grab it.
Okay, but yeah, I'm here for the bear dating. So yes, that goes on the list.
I think this power couple.
Hell yeah.
When it uploads.
Ah yes, that is gold just right there. Literal big bear. Here's a little skull sunglasses, perfect.
Yeah, because they're on the villain, so they've got all these like skull regalia and stuff like that.
Oh hell yeah.
His main thing, he looks like a Blastoise. He's got these 2 big cannons on his shoulder. He's really cool.
Okay, that is perfect. I love it. Okay,
And that's it. No more anime.
Yeah, I can check my mail, but I think the most of the rest I just dropped because I thought, yeah. New Urusei Ratsura.
I will check it out.
Yeah, that is just not
Ratsura. It's like everyone being like, "There's a new Trigun." I've already seen Trigun.
Yeah.
It's a reboot. Apparently, you don't have to watch the old one. So that one I want to see. It's like Studio Orange that also did the Beastars and Land of the Lustrous. Apparently, there's like peak CGI in that. So yeah, the Trigun I want to watch.
I want to watch the original Trigun. I still haven't done that.
I haven't seen it either. The original one. Oh yeah, Mel tells me that I watched the first episode of the new Tokyo Mew Mew reboot.
Forgot that was a
And,
thing.
yeah. Fortunately, the author passed away, I think, last year. So like very surprisingly.
Yeah.
So yeah, she unfortunately missed the reboot, but and Tokyo Mew Mew I kind of wanted to at least check out because it was one of the first like manga I ever read. I had borrowed it from a friend when I was in my early teenage years, and I remember liking it. And now I saw the reboot, and I remember oh no, oi 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 oi.
You were much younger, huh?
Oh yeah, young Eleanor was not very footed in her taste yet. Uh, no. So basically, me and the shoujo genre, I think we will not get along. Except it's like old school, the cool shoujo, Motohagio, the goat. But yeah. Oh, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Not one bit. This has been my review of Tokyo Mew Mew. Thank you very much.
That's right. I don't think I know anyone else that's watched it, so you're the authority.
Also, I watched a little bit of Blue Lock because it was that like sort of hype football.
Messi,
Football.
Messi.
Oh, believe me, I got so many posts like from my Argentinian family about like people celebrating in the streets and like people going ape shit. And honestly, good for them. I just have fun.
I work with a few Argentinians, so yeah, they were showing us videos of people going insane in their hometown.
Yeah, the same here. It's like beautiful, warms my little heart. Blue Lock, bonkers kaiji meets football death game. But I watched it because it was very fun bonkers, but I think I quit around episode 3 or 4 because it kind of does the sports anime thing that I don't like very much, where it's like looping animation and people throwing, I should definitely do this now. While in the manga, you can just give one panel with one speech bubble and it doesn't like take away from the pacing. And the manga is super fun, like really well drawn, really energetic, cool expressions. So yeah, I'm gonna continue reading that instead of watching.
It does the thing that sports anime does that I don't like, where it's about football.
Well, the thing is, the Japanese players in the World Cup were specifically doing moves from Blue Lock, which was getting people like hyped and excited, and they were working somehow.
Is that all the anime?
For me, yes. No more anime?
Should we talk about video games?
Yeah.
Video games are cool.
Yes.
I mean, we touched
hello,
on
gamers. It's time to get racist in here.
It's that time of year again.
It is.
Boy.
We do this once a year. We touched on it briefly, I think, at the very start of the stream before anyone existed in here. All of the Amy that's watching us still. But like I played Pokemon Arceus and Pokemon Scarlet this year. And there's like a lot of interesting discussion to be had on game design for Pokemon. Arceus sort of like strays into like, what if the game was much more free flowing? Like battles for catching Pokemon was like less of a thing. So there's kind of like a stealth puzzle element more to catching Pokemon in the wild, which is interesting. And it's much easier to catch wider varieties of things. I'm not the biggest fan of it because it just kind of adds a whole lot of materials for crafting stuff, which gets like a little frustrating because your bag has a limited capacity that you have to pay an increasingly exorbitant amount of money to increase by like one slot at a time. It's a little bit frustrating there.
Right.
It's a neat proof of concept. Yeah. And they learned a lot for Scarlet, but it's obviously more of a traditional Pokemon game. And there's due to the open world, and it's not like segmented off. There's like issues with like level scaling and how things are encountered. It's good because it's quite generous with things like TMs and crafting TMs and like items and all that kind of stuff. So
That's cool.
it's neat, but I think there's a lot of work to be done if this is how Pokemon's going to be going forward. Because if the next game's just the same as this, like I think that might be where I finally check out.
I still had a lot of fun with Sword and Shield, for it being like bonkers football UK game.
British game.
Yes, I should have mastered like aesthetics. It was a very aesthetically pretty region.
Yeah.
The music was great. The music's great in Scarlet as well. The Toby Fox tracks again just go insanely hard for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, not for no reason, for good reason.
Yeah. Yeah, the Scarlet and Violet was where I now finally checked out as somebody who has actually played every generation. Before I tackle the big one that happened to me this year, which wasn't from 2022, but it might as well have been. A little game came out that I think it took a few of us by storm. That was the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Was released.
Yeah, right at the start of 2022.
Yeah.
It was, it kind of just came out of nowhere. We knew Konami was working on this online Yu-Gi-Oh! Simulator, like an official one, but everyone just assumed it was going to come out like middle of the year, and they're like, nope, here it is. I think, whoa, what? It was a little bit feature light on release, but it still had like core Yu-Gi-Oh, which was good. It's quick, it's flashy, it's responsive, it's got its own little sort of custom ban list and meta and switches. If you're like me and you prefer to play like a more serious sort of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, it's frustrating that it's best of ones. Like a best of one without a side deck isn't the most skill intensive kind of game, but it's still like still a lot of fun, and it looks really good. The economy is really good. I was actually surprised at the quality of the game. So a lot of people got into Yu-Gi-Oh because of it.
Absolutely. So at least I got sort of back into it, but online only, to just play a few casual rounds, because I had like the steepest learning curve smack into the face of somebody who has only like played a little bit of OG back in the day when it like did the anime ran on TV. And yeah, I learned very fast that modern Yu-Gi-Oh! You go to town on your own turns. Like, you do many things in one turn, and you have to react to things. So yeah, that I learned, and then you had tailored me a very nice Blue Eyes deck. I've also now enhanced with some ideas of my own. And yeah, I love that deck. It's like very fun, and I still haven't found like any other Blue Eyes who also plays it like that. So yeah, good times.
Yeah, they've got the new Blue Eyes support cards and stuff in the game now. It's like, it's fun. It's cool. I've had a good time. I picked it up again recently, just like over the holidays to play some more. It's like, oh yeah, this is neat.
Yeah. Then, for me at least, a fun game, Stray came out. Little kitty cat game.
I think you mentioned that last time. Not to interrupt you. If you want to talk about Stray again, that's totally fine. And just in case you don't want to repeat yourself.
Well, I'll just keep it short then. It's a little kitty game where you play as a cat in a cyberpunk dystopia, but that is very comfy because it has many robots in it that start to behave human, and you are just a little cato going through it, and it's just so fun. It is just controlled so nicely. You just have the little cat like jump all over. It just goes all very smoothly. You can chain even your jumps together, just noodle through every little like nook and cranny, and I just really like that you have a dedicated meow button. You can just meow at things, or sometimes you can just a little like purr meow that you can also do, and you can just rub yourself on like people's legs, and people are very happy about it. You get little head pats, and there's also the function that if you find like a nice spot that you can sleep on, you just curl into a little cat ball, and then the camera zooms out all nicely, and it plays music, and you're just a little cat having a nap. And I like the story as well. There's like a little, like very, I would say, simple but effective sci-fi story in it. Yeah, you're basically going through the world upwards. So I don't know, Dante's Inferno, you start on the bottom, go up, and go through many different worlds. The graphics and the design of everything is super duper cool. And it's like, I think 2 Ubisoft people who just jumped out and wanted to do their own thing. Yeah, and they do a kitty cat game, and it's very fun. I would have loved that it gone like a little bit harder or longer, one of the two things, or both. But yeah, for what it does, it's cute. Time.
I'm trying to think what new games I've played. Obviously Sunbreak. I played good many hours of that over the summer. I'm gonna count this as 2022 because it finally got put on Steam, and I've played way too many hours of it in the last few months. It's Hitman 3. I don't remember if I even brought up Hitman in the last year's podcast, but I fucking love the trilogy. They are some of the coolest games I've played in recent years. And Hitman 3 has just been like the perfect ending to that trilogy. Just such interesting problem solving, stealth, like puzzle game. Monstrous amount of content in those games. Each of the like 6 maps, especially in the new one, are so intricately put together for like custom contracts and the main levels and speedrunning and challenges and all that stuff. It's been really good. They are also this month finally like consolidating the entire trilogy into one game, so it's new players can just jump in and buy the one game and get everything, which is a pretty cool move, because initially it was released like episodic, like you would buy each map, and that was initially how they were going to do it. So you pay however much for like the one map, and then you get all of that, and then you get the next map. But then they decided to make them a trilogy, and now this is one game all in one, for relatively affordable, they've said as well. And if you currently own Hitman 3 but don't own any of the other games for whatever reason, you can get a free upgrade and stuff, and a whole new game mode as well this month, which is, so it's really cool to see that they are like, because I think it came out the start of 2021, so this is like year 3 of the game, and they're still coming up with new stuff. There is like rumblings that maybe we'll be getting a new map as well. We got one at the end of the year. There may be a new one as well, but just generally like one of the best games I've played, Hitman 3. Like the only gripes I have ultimately are that the game is always online, which makes like playing it kind of a nightmare sometimes. The loads are a little absurd. The fact that you can't, do challenges if your internet goes out is really obnoxious, but generally as a game it is phenomenal. And like I've just put it down to like take a break before they release the new game mode, and I'm not even scratched the surface of like stuff I've completed, like ridiculous amount of stuff. And it's like I've been watching speedruns recently, and how much you can break the game looks incredibly cool, and I want to get into that as well. So I can see another 100 hours at least of me playing that game over the next year for sure.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of the new Hitman trilogy, and I was like pretty impressed, but I didn't have like a way to play it. I just borrowed it on like a friend's PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. It's been before they consolidated the game like this month, my metric was always get the game when like the gold edition is available for less than a tenner, because they can be incredibly expensive games at full price. Like you could be if you wanted to get everything, you can be looking at like 70 quid all in all for one of the games. But it goes on sale for very cheap very often. And now that they are saying, okay, right, Hitman 3 is going to be the only game you need to get, it should be a lot more affordable.
No.
But like again, the amount of hours you can get out of it is great, and I'm pretty sure like Hitman 3 has a demo as well, so like you can always try it out and see what it's like.
Yeah, I was like not super interested, and then I listened to a episode of like a podcast called Worst of All Possible Worlds recently, and they had an episode on the modern Hitman trilogy with someone that's quite a prolific player of them, and it's like, oh yeah, this actually I got really interested into it, so because of my little parasocial Andy brain, now I want to play the Hitman game.
Yeah, I think like one of the things I think is just so impressive with Hitman is that the game mode where you can go in, select basically any NPC and make them the target of a custom contract, and each of those NPCs has like it's their own pathing and can pretty much be killed in a like, you know, like a stealthy way, is one of those things that would be like the prime selling point for a much lesser game. And this is just a thing that's like, yeah, if you want to play the contract mode, it's there. But and it's been so cool seeing people like the community make contracts and then have like these hyper challenging ones where you've got to really problem solve to get them done super quickly, because like there are some kills you can only do within 30 seconds or the body will be found and you'll lose Silent Assassin. It's just such a cool system that feels so rich, and like I'm for one, I really want IO Interactive to make a co-op stealth game, because I loved Payday 2 Stealth, which is a much less rich stealth game than Hitman, but like I love doing stealth in co-op, and I would love so much to play like a Hitman style game by them in co-op. I think that'd be so cool.
Definitely would be, because like it's good that there is this massive community for it, because as much of a flop as Hitman Absolution was, up until the release of the new Hitman trilogy, there was like thousands of people like still like monthly building custom contracts for that game as well.
Yeah,
so it's definitely, they understand it's like a real appeal, and it's good to see they've kept it going.
Yeah. What other video games have people played? I guess there's a big one, a big Elden game from this year.
Oh yeah.
So my experience with Elden Ring is I played it on my friend's PlayStation. It was pretty cool, and then my flatmate bought it for my PlayStation because he wanted to play it. It was pretty cool. I got up to the Flame Giant boss, and then the Crunchyroll app just like bricked my PS4. Beyond
no! Fuck off,
so
Crunchyroll.
I started. So I got a new PS4 for cheap. Started playing again and went, actually, I've lost all motivation. So I can tell you the game up to the Flame Giant is pretty good, and then right around the Flame Giant was when I was starting to feel fatigue, because that boss was boring as shit. Sorry, Big Monkey was not fun. Back to chimpanzee eating popcorn, please.
What about the fucking manure muncher, crab cruncher, dastardly doo-doo devourer, fecal feaster?
He was cool. I thought he was kind of sick. He was a fun little NPC. There was another NPC that's just a criminal who eats crabs and prawns. That's his personality.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's even better. He's actually a good guy. The sacrilegious septic sommelier. I have no thoughts. I'm just thinking about the loathsome dung eater.
No wider thoughts on the quality of the game, or the bosses, or the game design.
Well, listen, I've played like 2 video games that actually came out this year. It was Elden Ring and Cultic Episode 1, and both of those were perfect in my opinion. So I don't gotta tell people anything about Elden Ring. The whole world's played it. It sold like 7 gajillion copies. But the actual best the actual best video game released by FromSoft this year was the Armored Core 6 trailer. So
I was like very confused about that on Twitter, because I was like, oh, people are doing a bit, right? They're like doing a bit. They're like, oh, it's gonna be just like Dark Souls, you know, like haha, funny. No, they actually wanted that. Like, what the hell? Like, Dark Souls players are the most like fucking brain poison people in existence. I swear to God.
Did you fucking happen to read the interview by Miyazaki with like IGN or whatever it was? And they're like going. They're going super hard on like. It's gonna be Armored Core. Like they're going so hard on it just being Armored Core and not a Souls game.
Yeah.
Yeah, why isn't every Nintendo game like Mario? It's just terminal brain poisoning. Log off.
They are gonna
touch grace.
They are gonna put a poison swamp in it though.
Touch grace, Elden Ring players.
But that's because Armored Core had poison swamps first, so
it did. That's the superior game series after all.
Yeah.
I mean, just a couple like actual thoughts on Elden Ring. They finally figured out the magic system, integrating it more with weapons. It feels much better. The like open world and open plains sort of meant that like you could have some bosses in open areas or whatever, just like enemy concept that's interesting as well, but then save like the more interesting bosses for like designed arenas, which was neat. I still wish they did a little bit more with terrain, considering how versatile it could have been. But I don't know. It's good. It's a fun game. You get a horse. You need some little skeleton guys to fight here.
There's 2 different types of giant crustaceans you can fight.
Multiple giant crustaceans.
And you can eat the prawns that the prawn guy sells, and they give you a buff.
Yep.
Actually, the prawns helped me a lot in defeating Millennia.
Yeah, crunching crustaceans, the final boss. If you not played Elden Ring up until now, don't do it, because it's funnier that way. You'll make someone mad.
Is it time for me to step up? Because I have.
It's his time, Eleanor. You got Dark Souls first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have the rights yet. I have to finish Dark Souls first. By the time Elden Ring 2 comes out.
It would be so fucking funny if Elden Ring 2 comes out and Winds of Winter still isn't out.
That game is never coming out. I'm sorry, that book is never coming out.
No.
I don't know.
He did do like one of his like annual updates, and it was like, yeah, it's like it's further along than you think, but also it's been forever. So like that means nothing. It's like, yeah, we thought the book would be out. That's not further along than we thought.
I read the most recent Game of Thrones book when I was in high school. Like,
I've actually reversed my opinion. I think it's funnier if he doesn't release it.
Yeah,
it's way funnier. He should just keep updating us once a year for like the next 20 years. It's like, yeah, it's coming along.
It's like a Kickstarter project. Like, I swear, guys. Like,
yeah.
stretch goals.
Yeah, slight tangent. I read the first two Game of Thrones books properly this year. I really enjoyed the first one. The second one was already way too like bloated and boring, so I don't know if I'm gonna continue. But like,
I think a couple of them narrow in scope a bit more, so you like narrow in scope to some specific characters again, which is quite nice. But I think
Yeah.
books 2 and 3 are just so wide and broad. So every time there's a good chapter, like an interesting chapter, there's just one that drags forever. Like,
Yeah. There are characters I really like, so I probably will go back to the books, but it's like... it had me for a moment. I was thinking, do I watch the show up until where the book stops so I'm just, like, caught up? And I can say I'm caught up. But I did not do that, because I'm not watching Game of Thrones.
Well, yeah, because there's a cooler game that I talked about last year that I know you've been playing now, Ali. Hades.
Yeah, I got my
Hell
first...
yeah, baby!
I got my first clear the other night. I'm at 3 clears currently. I almost got my 4th today, but Hades fucked me. So, but yeah, it's been a very fun game. I'm glad I finally got to it. I'm not usually into roguelikes, like the kind of system of running at it until you get it and like getting like marginal improvements each time is not usually my thing, but Hades kind of makes it so that like you really do feel like you're improving every time, even without God mode. Like you do feel like you're making so many improvements each time, and like the first like few runs, like getting like stumped on Megara, and then like getting stumped in Asphodel, and then finally like breaking through, and like I remember like the first run I got like cleanly through Elysium, and it was like, oh shit, like this is coming, I can do this. And like I spent like, you know, like 10 runs against Hades, but like finally like getting him was just so good.
Yeah. You also get a lot of dialogue with each run, and that's
yeah, that's the other good thing is like there's just so much like dialogue and like character work that like it's almost good to like lose a run, because like, you know, okay, well at least I get to talk to like these characters and learn a little bit more. It's a very gratifying game. I do like a run or two before bed. That's been a really good routine. I'm glad I got it on Switch. Like game runs really well on that as well.
By far the best way to play it, I think.
Yeah.
I really like the control for it. Yeah.
I still haven't finished it. I just noticed because I stopped playing it.
What do you have it on Switch, or do you have it on PC?
I do have it on Switch actually.
Yeah.
So and it was really fun, but there was like a point where I just got wrecked the whole time. I think it's Hydra boss. Like even with God mode, I felt like I just lose and it's not fun anymore. So I quit and I picked it up.
Don't forget that God mode isn't really much of a boost unless you're actually doing lots of runs. Like even like God mode doesn't make it easy. Like I use God mode just because I'm not a big roguelike guy and I just want to like play the game. And even then it was still like a challenge. But like it's all like Hades is like figure out what your upgrades do. Like I love Hangover. Hangover is like my favorite thing, especially for like the Hydra, because you can just, especially with like gun or bow, you can just blast him from afar and he's just taking passive damage, and then when the other Hydra show up you just like dash around attacking them, and by like the second loop round they're all dead. And it's like Hydra is probably one of the most like once you understand what to do, it's like the most consistent boss.
Okay.
I definitely recommend it. Like, it's definitely punishing in places. Elysium is still like an area where I like dread going, and like because
it took me like a lot of runs to get comfortable going through Elysium, even while I was playing Hades. Like even now, Elysium can like sort of break. If the run's like kind of mediocre, like if not sort of really good upgrades, like Elysium might just be where it fucking dies if you don't get need like Patroclus or something to restore your revives.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the thing. If you do end up playing it, work towards getting your death defied, your revives. Like, because when I unlocked all of the revives, it felt so much more comfortable to like try things out, and it felt lesser punishing to like if I lost one in Styx or two to in Elysium, it felt less of like, oh yeah, the run's dead now because there's no way I'm getting past like Hades with this. But it's been one of the most satisfying games to beat. Like
Yeah, I can
it's
imagine.
absolutely worth the hype. And like I genuinely think, like, as someone who really doesn't like roguelikes, as I say, like it's felt the most rewarding to play and like the most rewarding to lose. I think that's the good metric for a roguelike, really, is like it doesn't feel so punishing to lose. It feels like you're actually benefiting, and when a run dies at like a bit you've been struggling on, it doesn't feel like you're terrible at the game. It like even just to treat it as like, oh right, I got a bunch of these resources that I can now use to get a bunch of stuff. And yeah, once
Treat
you
it
unlock,
as you're getting a funny little tease by Hypnos every time you die.
yeah, once you unlock like the keepsakes for the gods, and you can go, okay, well, I know I want to run, as I say, like Hangover. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I get Dionysus as the first thing in the first chamber, so I can get that passive damage right away. That's when things start really slotting into place because you can actually plan.
Okay, then maybe I'll try this year again because it's like I still want to finish it. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I could talk
It's like
fucking Hades
everyone's got their own,
strategies
like-
for a while.
Yeah, everyone's got their own favorite strategy. Like, what I enjoy is different to what Ali enjoys, to what Boris enjoys. So it's like, yeah. It's actually a very, nothing is unviable, which is good.
Yeah. And it's one of those games where you get like an upgrade you think, like an upgrade you don't like, and it's like, okay, right, I can actually use this. This is actually pretty useful here. And once you win it the first time, it just becomes a snowball, and you will probably win like every time. And that goes for like all the bosses you're stuck on along the way. Like when I managed to get the Elysium boss like so cleanly, it felt so good because like these were like my like revive drains to start with. I still hate Styx. Styx is a pain, but like as soon as I get good at Hades, I can stop caring about Styx being annoying.
And then you unlock the mode to make the game even harder,
Yeah.
No.
which also rocks.
Yeah, I'm on the harder mode. I was really grateful for that because like I struggled a bit learning it, but I never felt the need to use the god mode, so I was happy that the Pact of Punishment is kind of how the game encourages you to play going forward, which is nice. And, like, I finally started replaying it. I finally went in and sort of like finished the game, finished the quote-unquote story of the game, as well as started doing some of the like special weapon aspects. When I saw like Ali was playing, so I was like, oh yeah, I like this game. So I've gone through and I'm like trying out like new stuff that unlocks, and it's fun. Beautiful game, well made. Hades 2 is coming.
Yes.
Hades 2 is coming. Oh my god, I'm fucking ascending, dude. Hades 2 and Armored Core 6 announced on the same day. I'm coming. Also, like, including Ali, 4 of my friends started playing Hades in like the last 2 weeks. I don't know what.
Yeah,
happened.
like
I
a
was,
bunch of my friends started playing as well.
The OnlyFans one I saw, like Oni was playing. Who else? Was
Yeah.
playing too?
Yeah, I got it on sale, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this. And then like I posted like my first screenshot, and then I scrolled down my feed, and there were like 3 other people who were posting it, like they were playing for the first time. It was fun coming to the game so late, but also having a bunch of people playing it for the first time.
It's great. I get to talk about like Hades strategies with my friends in real life now.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll touch quickly again on Cruelty Squad, the scrunched up, deliberately like obtuse, weird anti-capitalist shooter. You reload by right-clicking and dragging the mouse towards you. So it's like pinpoint accuracy on guns and stuff like that, but it's like sort of master it to play. If you like boomer shooters but hate boomer shooters like I do, then perfect.
And if you like boomer shooters and like boomer shooters, you play Cultic. It's like the crunchiest video game ever made. all of the sound effects and like feedback you get on doing literally anything in that game is like cum.
Eleanor, is it time for? Oh, sorry, Tom.
I was gonna say Cultic's just like an average trip to the forest in Serbia.
Yeah.
Eleanor, is it time for the big one?
It might be. Okay, it's I think kind of like Hades. It's not from 2022, but 2019, with then a fantastic Final Cut re-release. It's Disco Elysium. It happened to me this year, and as I said already in the last one, not only does it live in my head rent-free, no, it just bought the whole apartment. It has taken up permanent residence. It refuses to leave, but also it can stay there because it owns the place now. So, wow. Yeah, that just took me by storm, and I did not expect that to happen. Because it has been on my Steam library for 10,000 years, and thought, one day I want to play this. This looks interesting. Didn't knew a single thing about it. Just went by, okay, Eastern European Slav game, Baltics happening. So okay, but yes, you play a very big mess of a man who you can take in many different directions. He has 25 voices in his head that all represents different aspects of his own brain. So you can basically monologue with yourself. And you go on an adventure with your very competent but equally not bonkers lieutenant friend Kim, and the rest is just is perfect. I did not expect this to be so good, also so quintessentially European, which feels really like a breath of fresh air, playing mostly like games from either Japan or the US, because there's just so much Europeanness in there, just like the very frank way of how to deal with politics, how you talk about culture, whatever. There's a heck ton of scooter in there that I just went on, and yeah, I have to edit the wiki now because I am the nerd who has to take care of this. Play it. It's amazing. Also, it unlocked some thoughts in my brain that I have become fully drag king now. That thought has been lingering there for I think 7 or 8 years, maybe even longer, because I have been playing male roles on a theater stage nearly exclusively for all my life. Thank you at this point for my middle school teachers always casting me that way. It's like, Eleanor, you're big and tall, here's a beard, play a guy. And it's like, hey, thank you. So yeah, that also happened. Many agenda validation and sexuality validation has happened, and this game has turned my life around, or to the better or the worse, we don't know. Yeah, play it. It's amazing. Grand old time. Boris, you finished it, and Tom, you're still playing it, right?
Yeah, so I'm a good chunk of the way through, but I'm a lazy little bitch.
Mucho texto.
Yeah, mucho texto. I think now playing it that the game has like voice acting and stuff like that is, I think, like absolutely correct. I think it adds a lot to the atmosphere of the game.
Because they
yeah,
casted...
I mean, not much to say that Alan already hasn't. It's this, it's a very good framing for like sort of, there's this sort of wider struggle of politics going on in it, and I mean, I wonder where the symbolism is. You're a man that sort of lost his memories and lost his identity, in the city of Roshol, and you sort of piecing that back together. So it's cool. It's fun. It's interesting, sort of learning about Harry and his personality as the game goes on, as you sort of craft one for yourself too. So it's neat. It's refreshing. Kim is a lot of fun as a sort of side character, a really good foil, like just comedic enough, but not like a silly sidekick. He's he's a sort of serious character in himself, which means he has his own sort of points of curiosity, so you can sort of sway him and all that. Yeah, cool, fun.
Absolutely. I think that's what I like about it. I've read also a kind of like behind the scenes as well as like analysis stuff. And what I find interesting is that Kim is basically your straight man to your funny man, while in most games you are the straight man to the insanity of the world around you. So you are the unhinged mess going on, and he's basically your anchor point. But yeah, you notice that he's not super serious. Like, he will like make jokes with you together, or if he sees, we can do like a bit. He's also like a complex character in himself that I don't want to spoil too much. But yeah, how do you deal in a world that is basically a lot of communism failed, fascism on the rise, himself being a biracial Asian who grew up in this world? Yeah, there's. I think how I like a lot how this game talks about politics, and how also it's just comments on many a thing. I already said, like, you can play this game as a fascist, be the worst racist ever.
You take physical damage. It's so funny if you try to play as a fascist.
Yeah, because
if you make yourself fascist and then try to be compassionate, your body actually like fucking rejects it. It's so funny.
Yeah, you actively do yourself damage being a fascist. Yeah, and for example, the Harry has many things in his heart that he should be dealing with, but yeah, it sort of digs itself even deeper when you start playing as a fascist. There's so much good writing in there that just really like peels off the layers of somebody who is like fallen into this blind hatred. But also, all the others are great as well. Like there's fictional politics thing or moralism, where the status quo is so centrism that it becomes religious, so that the status quo becomes holy to you. As well as like communism, of course, where it says if you unlock communism, it says if you find other communists, you need to fight with them, because the best thing a communist does is criticize other communists not being true. And you can even say, like, isn't that counterproductive? No, it's what a communist does. You need to criticize other communists. Have this infighting. Do it. Go. Yeah, so it feels even more poignant, I think, for this zeitgeist we are in right now. And hopefully the whole Zaun situation calms down and we get some more from them, because I need it in my life.
What's actually the current situation with I've not actually seen what the most recent updates are.
I think, as far as I know, one of the guys has now changed kind of sides back to the good side, which means that like the guy who pulled in, I forget all the names. I think the guy who pulled in like the big wigs changed back to culture side. So I think the whole studio and the rights are frozen in like a big package of like 20 million euros or something. So at the moment, that means like nobody can do any progress on either the book translation or the sequel, as long as that has not been checked. I think it's looking good for the original authors, because they requested to have an insight into the books, because there was some shifty financial things going on, with them like funneling money out and then buying more shares of itself.
Ooh, I like that. It's pretty good actually when financial crime happens.
Yes. Black on white number stuff. You cannot argue with that. Yeah, so Disco Elysium, thank you very much for being the light of this year for me and doing many a thing to my brain. I can maybe finish with like a tiny game I played that I liked a lot. This was the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe version. It's the same game, but with like more content and like a whole meta bunch about its own legacy and how a sequel doesn't work. So it's a game that argues itself that it doesn't need a sequel, while being a re-release sequel. Yeah, it's good fun. Had some emotional punches as well. Good time.
I'm sorry. I think I hate the Stanley Parable.
Oh, no.
I've really from being very positive about it when it first came out, years have worn down on me to the point where it's just like I find this game insufferable.
Oh no.
But,
Unfortunate.
yeah, I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay. I think it's an acquired taste. Like it's definitely not for everyone.
I've de-acquired it.
Oh no.
Lost the taste.
Oh, Eleanor. Question: did you play the new? I'm gonna say new Portal game, but like the thing Valve released, the like Aperture
Yeah.
desk job game?
I played that actually.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was like a nice little episode into that world again.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that was a good time.
Now that they've made that.
Portal.
Now that they've made that fucking Steam Deck, please Valve, like, make a new game, please.
Yeah.
Like seeing
Finish the Half-Life story, please.
seeing like Aperture and like their writing just hasn't missed a beat since like Portal 2 obviously still holds up, but like seeing Aperture and it's like they could still do this. They could still make like an all-time classic game again. But like
Please. It has been so long.
It has.
Portal.
And I like there's stuff like Half-Life Alex, but like that's VR. So if you don't have VR, that's kind of off. But like, come on, make a game. Let us play a game again.
Please.
I will buy a Steam Deck if you make it a Steam Deck exclusive. Actually, no, I won't because I can't. Like, the fucking backlog on those things is ridiculous. But yeah, I will consider buying a Steam Deck to play a new fucking Portal or a new Half-Life game or something.
Does anyone else have any other games from this year? Because I have, I think, a couple more to go.
What did I play?
I think Eleanor also played Inscription. It did come out in 2021, but
Didn't we talk about it last year?
I think we might have.
Thought, but Inscription
we
was
briefly touched
super
on
fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, a
I
random.
played, yeah,
Okay,
enjoyed it.
nice. I need to get to that. It looked really cool. A random one. One of the few things I played that's like new. I played on stream actually the Haunted PS1 demo disc from this year. Haunted PS1 is like a collection of like indie dev demos that get put together every Halloween as like a like a demo disc of horror games in development. It varies. They're not all horror games. Some of them are like kind of are more tangential, but yeah, there's like dozen and a half like demos on there of like really like interesting, innovative games. One that I remember that is like really stood out to me was Dead Letter Department, which was like a typing horror game where you're like writing. You basically do the desk job of like writing out the handwritten addresses that are on envelopes.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets like fucked up and ghostly stuff happens and it looks like gorgeous for like what type of game it is. It still says on Steam like wishlist this to show support because so there's no like actual release date for it yet. But I really hope that gets like a full game because that's one of the coolest things I played this year. There was a really cute like sort of 3D Zelda type game where you play as a little bee knight called Bee Knighted. That was really cute. What else was there? There was some cool stuff. There was like a like spaceship racing game that was like horror themed. That was like it did not want to run on my PC, but it was really cool. I can't remember what it was called, but it was very cute. And I would have liked to have played it more. But yeah, like check out Haunted PS1. Like they've done a few of them now, and I think they've done some other like side projects as well. But if you want to just like jump into a PSX type environment, they make like a little like for this it was Spectral Mall, so it's like this old like horror movie shopping mall that you walk around and walk up to doors and play the games. It's really really cute, really well done. And it's just a bunch of new games that you might find that you wanna play a full game of. That's definitely one of the most exciting things I've played this year. Was just seeing there's just a lot of cool stuff being made in games that just doesn't get any attention. Was there any other video games? I don't think I've played anything else that was new. I played like Stalker Clear Sky, which was great. The ending kind of sucked, but like the majority of that game is great.
Stalker's great because the game has this. All the games have this incredible vibe and atmosphere, and the endings all universally suck ass.
Yeah, I like the first game's ending to a point, but I still like missed a key item to actually finish the game and had to reload an old save. So and they're all like fucking brutal damage wise. You just get shredded. Clear Sky is super cool. Like it kind of leans into more like RPG elements than the first one did. The first one's obviously more survival-esque. I like doing like faction warfare stuff. And then the ending was like just the worst. I am however really excited for the new game. It is a miracle that they are still working on it. Much love to the devs. I hope they are as safe as they can be while making the game. I'm very much looking forward to playing it whenever it comes out. And yeah, I think that's the only like games I've played that I haven't talked about.
I played Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh yeah.
I like Xenoblade. I won't talk about it here because I know nobody gives a shit.
No, tell me about Xenoblade.
How was it?
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is like interesting because they've finally figured out the pacing for the games, which is give you the abilities early on, or at least give you most of them early on, so that the combat's not a drag. Like, I love Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but boy, does the first 20 hours before you get chain attacks fucking drag.
Oh my god.
So it's like a much tighter, much more simplified combat system, with sort of like the blade system taken away, and now you just sort of swap between a few different classes and can kind of change a little bit with skills there, but that probably is for the better. It's a little bit easier to optimize yourself for boss encounters and play around with it. The story's still like a little over the top and silly, but like it strikes the right Xenoblade balance. Like it's you get invested enough with these sort of quirky characters, and the music's incredibly good. Like all Xenoblade games, like I'm grateful British voice actors get work somewhere. Propping up the economy of Wales is Xenoblade as a model. But yeah, I've not finished it yet. I'm like 80 hours in, which I'll finish it this year, I swear. But yeah, I also played Project Triangle Strategy, which is from like the same devs as Octopath
yeah.
Traveler. Anyone like that?
I heard about that. How was it? I was interested.
The combat's pretty good. It takes a bit of time to get used to, and the terrain system isn't entirely intuitive. The first couple maps are pretty straightforward, and like unit death doesn't really affect you. I think if they just die, they lose like a little bit of like XP and stats, but they come back to the next map, which is like fine. But I had to reset. I think like it was like 5 or 6 maps in, like quite a few times as I like learned to manipulate the terrain to my advantage, and like the way the map was designed, the objective and the story encourage you to play it quite quickly. But unlike a Fire Emblem map where you might have been rewarded for doing that, instead you were punished because the game just like slammed a bunch more enemies if you went too quickly and overwhelmed you. So it encouraged you to play quite passively, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I only got the game like for Christmas basically. I bought it for myself for Christmas, so I've still got a lot to go. So hopefully it improves. But it's a promising start.
That sounds good.
Okay. Boris.
So,
Boris.
Yo.
Is he there? Now's where you get to talk about Now's where you get to talk about black metal.
it is music time.
Where's my fucking top star that I posted?
As usual, on my side, I have only a single cue card with like scribbled words on it, on music, because I just listen to the same playlist that just grows all over again. Don't really listen to albums, so oops. I can throw out a few things here and there, but Boris gets first shot for telling us what is the good shit from 2022.
Jokes on you, my favorite album this year was by The Weeknd.
That came out right at the start of the year.
Hell yeah.
That might have been out when we like uploaded the last episode.
I think it may have been, yeah. Dawn FM came out like right at the start of the year, because I remember I had to drive somewhere, and like that was like one of the things I downloaded to listen to while I drove. It was a very good album. Not to disparage it, sorry.
It's just very funny when you can like solve that problem right at the beginning of the year. It's like, yeah, there you go.
Doesn't get better than this.
It doesn't get better than this fucking haunted strip club music.
Well, I mean, this was like a year for like artists accidentally releasing like concept albums. Like The Weeknd put out haunted strip club music. Drake put out what if a homophobic guy went to a European disco.
I mean, The Weeknd has been making haunted strip club music the entire time, but this is more like the music that you listen to in like a waiting room in purgatory.
Yeah. Well, I guess like Pusha T released a new album this year, like entirely about doing cocaine. So The Weeknd's music about doing cocaine for a little bit. I love Pusha T. Literally, like a third of the bars in his albums are about doing or selling coke. It's
Yeah.
It's an incredible album. The new album's incredibly good.
Him and like Benny the Butcher and that are always just like all of their bars are like, yeah, this is about when I sold cocaine. Like,
yeah. The production on the Pusha T album is great as well, because it's half Pharrell and half a guy named Kanye West. I don't know.
Little indie guy. If we can forget about him.
He sounds like a nice guy, but whatever.
Unfortunately, like a lot of my favorite songs on the Pusha T album are produced by Kanye, and you can tell they sound incredible. It's a shame. What a shame.
Mm-hmm.
What a shame he died.
Yeah.
On a similar note to like Kanye West production, there was like a couple Guy Scavara projects this year. I listened to a lot of his 2021 album, this year, which was the Black Bolshevik. But he had a EP right at the end of 2022, as well as a album in 2022. And both were pretty good. And he's obviously much different to Kanye, but he's obviously he obviously draws inspiration from that. You can tell. Yeah.
I can
Anyway,
run
Boris,
through one else.
Mr. Black Metal. Come on, do the thing. Hoping
All
you
right.
stick.
All right.
Cool.
I'm doing the thing. I think Ali listened to like 2 of these, like the Sidon and the White Ward album.
Oh hell yeah, those are so good.
Those are two black metal records. The Sidon is like fucking the most saccharine melodic black metal you ever heard. It's like made by weeps.
Absolutely.
Also, Angst released a new EP. That was pretty interesting, leaning way more into black metal than they usually do with their like black metal hardcore sound. And also, all the lyrics are in German, which actually, you know, fits very well. There's my favorite release of the year was an EP. That was the other favorite release by a band called Bleed.
Oh yeah, I listened to that the other night.
Did you dig it?
Yeah, I listened to that and the Fleshwater.
Yeah, they have a kind of a similar sound, those two. It's like alt metal. I'm still not sure what alt metal exactly is. It's like a bit of a nu metal sound in there, specifically like Deftones. I know there's like people who are really into Deftones, so if you like them, you might like these two. And this is like the first release that Bleed did, but they're working on a full-length album now, and that's probably gonna be on next year's list if they release it this year, I guess. They signed to like 20 Buck Spin. That was also pretty cool. Like 20 Buck Spin branching out from doing almost solely extreme metal stuff to suddenly releasing this. What else has there been? There's been a vaporwave album that I really enjoyed that I just kind of randomly stumbled onto by this artist called Vape Error. The album is called Radiant Racer, and it's like inspired specifically by like I guess 90s arcade racing games.
Oh hell yeah.
Like the Ridge Racer Type 4 soundtrack into like a vaporwave thing. It's pretty cool. I don't know what else. Summerlands has suddenly released an album after not doing anything for like 5 years or whatever. That's pretty cool. They have a new singer. I don't quite like the new singer as much as the previous one, but it's still like fucking sick. I guess there was a Charlie XCX album as well.
Oh yeah.
Ah, yes.
Fucking come on. Windows Media Player is fucking up my album covers again, so I don't there was multiple black metal releases specifically centered around like Native American themes in their lyrics.
Oh yeah.
There was an album by Black Braids. There was one by what's the name of the band? Vital Spirits. I also like that one as well. And the third one is by Nechochwen. I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation. It's in some native language. That's pretty interesting that all of a sudden there was like multiple releases of that type. Not something you saw often previously, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Ghost released an album.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Actually, listen to that. Ooh.
There you go. You got one. It's
You
like
got
the it's like even poppier than their usual stuff. It's like almost like a glam rock type of thing. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Those are my black metal releases and Charlie XCX and the weekend. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to go first, Tom?
Yeah, I can just run through a few albums that I listened to and enjoyed this year. The new Danger Mouse album, G Codes, was
Yes.
my most
Yeah.
individual album. Incredibly good. It's so easy to just like keep coming back to and
Yeah.
having more that I really liked and enjoyed. And I
Always nice to have an MF Doom. Always nice to have an MF Doom verse these days.
Yeah, probably maybe the last MF Doom verse we're gonna get ever, which is like a little melancholic to think about.
Yeah.
But it's probably gonna be a rotation like this whole year as well.
Oh, for sure.
The new Metro Boom album was pretty good. I wasn't as sold on it as like a couple of my friends were. But if you like Metro Boom, and it's Metro Boom,
Yeah.
they're very well produced, and yeah. I was pretty positive on the new Kendrick. I think it really hit. But I think it was probably the weaker songs were much weaker this time, just like more uninteresting.
Yeah.
Like whatever they're trying to do with the production or the beats, just sort of like didn't work. It's a shame because like I really enjoyed Kendrick, and then Family Ties, which he released in 2021, is sort of his verse sort of like being like be patient, my album's coming sort of thing. Was like good, and I was like, oh okay, like I was sort of expecting maybe a little bit more of that, but sort of disappointed.
Yeah.
And then
It's a funny album.
Yeah.
I think I
Baby Keem.
I wasn't like I got to it really late and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and listen to this. I've seen all the takes. I know I've listened to Anti Diaries. I know I know some of the rockier parts of this album, but when I sat down and listened to it, there were tracks on there that I really gravitated to. As always, it's great to hear Sampha on a track. Where is that fucking album, dude? Release an album. Yeah, like I think it's an album that I think that's an album that I think I'm going to like warm up to a lot more, even if I don't think it's like necessarily great. There is just some like I think like choices of like having like Kodak Black on like way too many parts of that album and stuff that is like very clearly responding to stuff in like kind of unapologetic ways, I suppose is the way to put it, and like it being it's such a kind of interesting album to release now, and I wonder how it's gonna age and like based on what he releases next in however many years.
Yeah, definitely.
It's an album, and like not to bring up Kanye again, but like it's an album that I kind of imagine I'm gonna view like I view Life of Pablo, which is an album that I've really come around to in the last few years.
I've been listening to way too much Life of Pablo this year.
Yeah, like it's like that's an album that
really I picked the wrong year to get. I got
Yeah.
really into Watch the Throne, really into Life of Pablo.
Yeah, like that is like an album that is like incredibly scuffed and like had like the worst release cycle possible up until like his recent albums. And like it is an album that has aged in like the weirdest ways because of how he is as a person, and it's just an album I find really interesting, and I wonder if for less incendiary reasons I might find Mr. Morale the same way. That it might be an album I warm up to in interesting ways.
Definitely, yeah. Because there was like another album that I was a little lukewarm on this year, which was the Denzel Curry one as well.
Yeah.
Individually quite good tracks, but they just don't flow together the best. It's very clearly like I think quite a passion project, but I don't think it's good to listen to as an album. I've tried a few times.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because again, I really like Denzel Curry. I don't think this one will age quite as well, but I think the songs individually will I will definitely come back to.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a Denzel Curry album. Holy shit.
Yeah. And he released
Yeah.
like a live version of it as well, like a couple months ago. That's apparently also good, so I should get to that.
There was a GID album that I thought was pretty good. I've only listened to it once, so I don't have many comments. I was surprised. I've not thought much of GID in the past. New Rina Sawayama album was pretty good. I think I liked the singles more. I think
Uh-huh.
it was in my top played like singles or whatever for the year on Spotify. But
Yeah, I definitely I bounced off the new album quite a bit. Like I totally forgot it came out. But the singles, I like This Hell quite a bit. I liked a couple
What the
tracks
fuck?
ultimately.
did you just sleep under a rock for the whole year, Boris?
I guess so.
Being cap on and just
I was doing a big snooze, missing all these releases.
yeah.
I got the
Ah.
black metal and nothing else, baby.
Yeah, because you got mad at me for not like loving the first Rina Sawayama album, so like I
I didn't realize she dropped it. I was like, I thought it was still in the process. Seemed pretty fast. Well,
no, it's
I
been
guess.
like a couple years since the last one.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
I got some shit to do.
What else was great?
There was a
I
Florence
can-
and the Machine album that I half listened to. Scratching, you know, I didn't listen to much new this year.
It's been a good year for bands and stuff I like, releasing stuff I like. Like the new Everything I liked a lot after kind of bouncing off
Oh my god, I almost forgot.
everything they've done since like 2015. Like Raw Data Feel just like really hit. It felt like them at their like hookiest, like their funniest in a while. I really enjoyed Raw Data Feel more than I was even anticipating. They released an album based around AI at the right time before people before like all the AI
Yeah.
art stuff happened. I think if they'd released that towards the end of the year, people would have been weird about it. But
Yeah. I mean, I sort of bounced off Reanimator a little bit. I think there was like a couple songs that I enjoyed, but I really got into Fever Dream. I'm a huge fan of the songs and theming on that actually.
yeah,
But I know not super into it, so I understand that it's like sort of not underrated, but it sort of flies under the radar for most people.
yeah,
It's a much more mellow album, and like I definitely enjoy Get to Heaven when they're more on the when I enjoy everything when they're more on their Get to Heaven, Man Alive, Raw Data.
Yeah, yeah.
kind of.
Orville Peck. We did mention him earlier. His album is really good. Good gay cowboy jams.
Like,
I've been waiting for him to kind of release something that like really clicks with me, and like the new album's really, really good for that. What else was really good? I like the new Bambara EP. They continue to be a band that I just like will listen to everything they put out. They've always got like at least a song that is just like stuck in my head for the entire year. It in a weird way, given they are like a very like gloomy like somber rock outfit. I don't remember if Boris mentioned the new Worm Rot, but that was great. Always good to have more Worm Rot. New Cult of Luna was good. The new Psy album was good. A bunch of really good metal. It's been a rare year for me to actually like sit down and listen to a bunch of metal releases and like really click with them. I like the new Black Midi. Black Midi has been a band I've been wanting to get into and just like keep putting off actually listening to their stuff, and I really like the new album. It's a good blend of just like weird, off the wall like rock stuff, like kind of I guess like I don't know what you actually call it. I guess like post rocky stuff. I really enjoy the kind of weirdness of the new album. New Billy Woods. I think he released 2 albums this year. I only listened to Ethiops, which I like a lot. Especially the song with LP. That's really good. I'm hotly waiting the next like Arm & Hammer release, but some interim Billy Woods is always good. I've got to listen to the other album he did. Oh yeah, that was good too.
Yeah. Freddie Gibbs is just on like strength and strength. He is incredible.
Yeah.
He's also like 40. I didn't know that.
He's pretty old.
He's incredibly talented though. I was like, oh damn.
He's my favorite anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
I will gladly turn the other way when he drops his like anti-vax bars out of nowhere in songs sometimes.
Yeah, I'll just pretend it don't exist.
What's some stray ones? It's an album that I've not actually seen. I kind of listened to because a guy on my master's course this year is like a big kind of big into like interviewing local musicians and stuff, and like I don't believe they are actually local, but the band Caroline, they did a show in town last year, and their new album is like really interesting, like instrumental stuff. Like they he put me onto them because they like recorded in like an empty swimming pool. They're like a multi-instrumentalist group. I don't really know how to describe them, but they're really interesting if you want some like kind of heady like kind of like, again, I don't really know how to describe them, but they're just like kind of like semi-rock, semi like folky multi-instrumental stuff, but they're pretty cool. King Gizzard's released a bunch of stuff. I still only listened to one album that they dropped. I did like Omnium Gatherum a lot.
World's busiest band,
yeah. I've got to get to their other stuff, but I can usually only like put time to like listen to one release per band in a year. So I've got to get to the others, but the one I did listen to was really good. What else was good? Soul Glow. I think that's been like at the top of a bunch of like publications lists, but like that's some really, really like unchained punk music. I definitely recommend that. It's good off the time stuff. And I think that's probably it. I think that's probably all I've listened to that I liked. Oh wait, one more. Somi, whose album in like 2017 was like my favorite thing ever. She is like I don't remember what country she's from, but she's a African kind of soul singer who is like really in touch with like diaspora, and she released an album about like kind of African diaspora and it's really beautiful. I've not seen like anyone talk about it, but I super recommend that if you're into like African soul type stuff, and like her storytelling is always really beautiful. Listen to Petite Afrique from like 2016. That's like one of my favorite albums ever. Yeah, I think that's all the albums. That's all the music. They finished music this year.
Yeah, just a final note, for me, I did go and see Idols live. Really
oh, hell yeah.
set together. Really good performance. It's obviously quite a strange experience because the whole time the lead singer is, spitting and swearing and shouting, and then in between sets he's just screaming out to love each other. It's nice. It was a very good voice fit. very good points where we also crouched on the ground during his performance of Reigns, where he got us to chant "Fuck the King," which was good.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, it was very funny looking around at the couple people that obviously were brought along by friends and were a little confused.
Cool.
Yeah, no, Wellington definitely was the perfect place to go for a concert like that, so I had a really good time.
Yes. I can throw out my handful of crumbs of music.
Go for it.
Good old Perturbator released a side project together with the Cult of Luna.
Oh, yeah.
Called Final Light. And that is just a lot of hard to describe drone post-metal death of the universe.
Hell yeah.
Lyrics. Essentially, I think 5 or 6 tracks that are all 10 minutes long. You just listen to it and picture death of the universe, and you think, yes, that's exactly what we are going for. Then I saw a Luxembourgish metal band live called Desdemonia, and I got their album as well, and everybody signed on it, and that was good.
Nice.
So very cute. And I think probably my album of the year is Sea Power. Everything Was Forever. I discovered Sea Power because, haha, they are the band who did the complete soundtrack for Disco Elysium, and they are a British alt-rock band who exists since a very long time. Formerly known British Sea Power, due to recent developments in politics, just Sea Power now. And they released an album this year called Everything Was Forever, which is also it also uses a bit of Disco Elysium music to just instead of instrumentals, just giving them vocals. So some of them have been worked into proper songs now, and yeah, it has just exactly that zeitgeist that I was just aching for, that I needed, of this, I want to say either hopeful melancholy or melancholic hope. Too. That it kind of feels somber but still super good. And one of my favorites is called Folly of that album. So yeah, Sea Power, Everything Was Forever being my album of the year. That was super good. That's it.
Nice.
I think that is the whole year
They
then.
might finish this off.
Alright. Yeah, so thank you very much everybody for being here with us. Because this has been now the whole year 2022 in review, and we hope that this year gets better. It really has to go upwards now, because last year was not a fun time for many people. This is not good. But yeah, we're here and we are doing more good stuff. I think hopefully this year more than last year. We already released 2 GARcasts now. That's already 100% more than last.
That's the quarter for the year. See you in 2024.
Gonna skip the rest of the year.
We recorded stuff, it just disappeared. Gamers lost media. I'm a Gamers GARcast episode truther.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if we can release something from our backlog, and I like these chill little streams. We can do these some more often.
Yeah, well, there's stuff we've done in the past is probably a good format for this type of stream. Like when we did the Yu-Gi-Oh episode, just doing that as a stream would be quite good, probably.
Yeah, same. We have some nice topic to talk about, and then just go to town. Alright, then I think we can say have a good one. Thank you for having been here, and see you soon all around.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh yeah, I need
you,
to end the stream.
Yeah.
No. You can go forever.
It never ends. Just let the
Never
whole stream
ends.
running for like the whole year. One big content.
We occasionally pop in and don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ali's just using this as a platform to stream like Portal 2 speedruns.
Take advantage of all the viewers. I mean, I guess I could do that. Like, if I ever wanted, just like, there's like 10 times, or like even, yeah, probably more like 100 times more people who would probably better tune in than on my Twitch. So, anyway, goodbye everyone.
Goodbye.
Check out that orangutan video. I'll post it on Twitter.
Yep. Oh, link it in the description. This is real.
Oh yeah, it'll be
Yeah.